YouTube is, I don't know if it's going to hold up.
No.
Oh, welcome back, everyone. We're going to see if this actually goes live. YouTube is YouTube took away Dan as well, so Dan's been canceled.
Oh no, there he is.
Okay, we are live. It's pixelated to hell.
It's okay in mine.
Okay, no, it's back. Hello, everyone, and the 163 people that came, although it's still showing as waiting. God damn it, YouTube.
Hold on, I'll check as well.
It looks live to me.
Well, 145 people are watching. Apparently.
Okay.
Right.
No, it's on for me wife. It's on for me wife. You're live.
Okay, good. Hello, everyone. So YouTube hates me and everyone. So if this live stream goes down again, we'll pick this up at some other time. And if YouTube keeps exploding, because apparently it's exploding everywhere, if it ends up going down with live streams, I will temporarily move these to my Twitch channel, which I think has 1 video on it and like 3 followers. So we'll see how well those go. Welcome back, everyone. How are we doing?
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah, we're great. We're doing fantastic. Yeah. I think we should keep the bad language to a minimum this time.
Yeah, no cussing.
Yeah, because
fudge.
I'm in a safe space and I'm a bit of a snowflake, so keep it down, lads. You know what I mean?
We're going to avoid triggering Noel. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to we're just briefly going to go over super chats from the previous stream and this one. If any more super chats come in and the stream goes down, I will do a catch-up live stream. But going back to, what is the date today? Today's the 21st. Okay. So the Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. What?
It's Chris Chibnall's birthday. I just thought I'd remind you.
Oh God, yeah. Chris hates us. So hello, Chibs. Thanks, Chibs. You bastard. I mean, you. We're not swearing. You mean slightly misdirected.
No cussing.
A lower, possibly not average, intelligent person looking for validation. You are a fuddy-duddy.
Okay.
So from the Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews, we have 2 deleted messages for 2 and 5 British pounds. So we'll look into that later. From Sci-Fi George for $10 US. I have seen Dora the Explorer, Diabetes Edition, Pinky and the Brain, Ben 10, and Count Succula. Add them to Children of the Atom and American Chavez. Oh, yeah, we haven't discussed that yet either. And have a cornucopia of crap 2020, from the real Darth Squishy for $2 US. Where is Drinker? I will have Drinker on fairly soon. I was streaming with Drinker briefly last night on Midnight's Edge. We will have him back. Everybody loves the Drinker.
Right.
From Nerdrotic, who's this person? For $25 US. No message. Gary, send us a message.
Hi everybody. I hope you're all having a very safe day. And you little snowflakes out there, I hope you feel empowered by Trailblazer.
No, we're going to get stopped. We're
getting stopped. Okay, it's Captain Safe Space and Snowflake is going to get us killed. Oh wait, I guess I can't say that either. Get us exterminated.
It's Cornflake and MySpace. That's what you're supposed to say. Cornflakes.
Oh wait,
and
actually, I did mention the name of the virus, which shall not be mentioned. So thanks, YouTube.
Oh, I bet you know what? I bet.
Yeah, we can't say that.
Beardbug is.
No, you can't. No, don't say that. Don't say that either. Just don't say anything, okay? Because YouTube has been ghosting streams. That happened to June last night. It happened to Anna the night before. It happened to me the day before that. So yeah, you can't.
I think it happened at Midnight's Edge.
Well, hello everybody to the live stream. Everything is absolutely
everything is great. Nothing to worry about.
The world will come to an end. There's 4 meteors coming towards the Earth. We can talk about them, though, can't we? Can we talk
about
what?
There's 4 meteors coming to the Earth? As well?
They're nowhere near the Earth. So
damn.
I bet they'll turn around and go back
coming.
again.
I know that.
See,
the Plague of Lucas coming to the Middle East?
Yeah, but they're going.
a
They're going
whole
to
bunch of
Chibnall's.
things are coming.
Yeah, but they're going to Chibnall's house, so don't worry about it.
One can only hope.
See, actually, we do need Drinker here because I'm always a bad omen when I go to his channel. I think the first stream we did together, there was a delay of like 5 seconds, so we were talking over each other. Then I think it was the second or third stream. You couldn't hear me, so I didn't exist for about an hour. So yeah, we need to bring Drinker on. Drinker, my friend, we love you, buddy. From Patrick Jacobs for €5. Keep your great videos coming. Makes my day. Do you think Rafi and Jean-Luc have sex in episode 10 since they love each other? Oh,
with the golem body.
Oh, they do love each other. And Rafi is Rafi. I can I say sucks?
Well, JL.
Well, that may well happen next week as well. If we're lucky.
It may happen. We Rafi, yes. I'm sure we all I'm sure we all loved them cheering the alcoholic relapse, so that was wonderful.
Yeah, but didn't Picard say he loved Data?
Oh, he loves everybody.
Well, maybe he's thinking of Data while he's with Rafi after he takes his 20th century version of the blue pill. So
I see. Okay.
Oh Christ. From Scottish Nerd, for 149 British pounds, we have a super sticker, a unicorn. Well, thank you, my friend.
That reminds me of Brie.
Oh, Wes Moody. So that's from the live stream that crashed and died. So now we're on to this live stream. Hello, Wes Moody. How are you doing today, my friend? For so 2 super chats. The first one for $5. If anyone wants to know why the SJWs take over established IPs rather than make their own original works, New Warriors is your answer. Oh God. Actually, this is, well, it was, I guess, an established property, but it's a new iteration. So I guess this is what happens when they try creating new characters. You get Safe Space, Snowflake, and the Hamburglar. Okay, from also from Wes Moody for $2. Will we ever see Professor Dinkle's live stream? That might be a technical nightmare. Well, Professor Dinkles, he's taking a vacation right now. I guess we can't say the Q word either. Goddamn YouTube. No, it's fine for CNN to say it, but us little people, no. There may be some logistical issues because the individual who may possibly be behind Professor Dinkle's voice may have issues keeping that up for 2 hours, but we'll see. From Thomas Backman for $10. YouTube censorship at its finest. Said perfectly, Thomas. I've been on YouTube's crap list for actually over a year now. I made a video on Captain Marvel, if I'm allowed to say that, YouTube. The video got 82,000 views within the first 2.5 hours. Obviously got the attention of the wrong person. And a year later, over a year later, and my YouTube channel is completely buggered. It's very hard not to swear. Okay, so I think we have caught up, but I'm just going to do a refresh here. Oh, no, we have 3 more. So from Smith, we've got 2. Hashtag save the day for £2 and for £2, Doctor Who lives. Well, we'd like to see Doctor Who brought back to life, but
he's coming.
Yeah, he's we're in the it's kind of like the 90s, which were the dark ages, but this is worse than the 90s because in the 90s we didn't have any Doctor Who on TV. Now we have this bleeding corpse trying to pretend it's Doctor Who on TV. So honestly, I wish the 90s were back.
I take the 90s out of this.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, the 90s we had the Virgin novels. They were great, and there was so much good stuff coming out in the 90s. They had the Doctor Who magazine comic strip, which was also fantastic. Yep. But I just loved that Virgin range. And then 90s they also had the Missing Adventures as well. What's it called? Early Adventures. I can't remember what they called them.
The Missing Adventures, the BBC books range. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. All in print.
Yep, I remember those. And well, I guess technically, Big Finish '99. So that was still the very end of the '90s.
They're big finished now. Big Finish.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Big Finish is
finished.
R.I.P. Big Finish. Oh wait, can I say R.I.P.? We'll find out.
You saw Nick Briggs walking the tightrope the other day, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh well. Here's my advice to Briggs: don't talk about it. Don't cover it. Obviously, you can't attack the BBC, but don't embrace it. And I saw some embracing going on. So honestly, Big Finish, you adopt any of this, you are finished.
Yeah,
and
they will kill them. But they must know that. They must know that.
They have to. And you know what? It's, if you just don't cover it, you have several living doctors. You have everything that you have the rights, everything for everything up until the end of Peter Capaldi. They won't get the rights to the Dr. Nasty era until it ends. But honestly, Big Finish, just don't cover it.
Maybe the BBC is telling them to cover it. You never know.
You know what it is, Balls Trek? At the moment, everybody's out to get the centrists at the moment. Nick Briggs has been sat on the fence on this for 2-3 years. Yeah. Understandably so. I told you about that podcast I listened to where him and his sort of right-hand man were talking about this directly because of all the posts he'd had to his own Facebook page. Remember that Nick Briggs is self-employed. There's the stuff he does with Big Finish, but he's self-employed as a voice artist and all these other things. And his page had been sort of completely swarmed by people like us, by horrible malcontents, sexists, and all the rest of it. So asking questions, just what he thought, and he politely said, "Look, even if I wanted to, I couldn't really answer about that." But they're pushing him. That answer is never going to be enough forever, and they will push this poor guy into a corner where they will compromise his business model and compromise his reputation. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, that's what's happening. I'll tell you that for nothing.
And it's a foregone conclusion. Big Finish, these young woke ideologues, the ones that are the most vocal, I guarantee none of them have bought a Big Finish audio in their lives. No. And if Big Finish starts with the new doctors, who's going to buy them? It's going to bring the company is going to collapse. So
the only way it can possibly be viable is if the BBC secretly finance it. Or if they run like a crowdsourcing. Well, the BBC finance, they can't put. It's about £10,000 or $10,000 per release. I just can't believe they're going to make that money back in any way, shape, or form.
No. Have you noticed, Rabbi? Rabbi, do you get the BBC audiobooks as well? Whenever they do those, they're more strictly speaking audiobooks, aren't they?
Yeah.
None of it's ever dramatized, but that's always on the BBC official brand ones. And they get people like Jenna Coleman reading them and the woman who plays Lady Vastra, I can never remember her name, Neve McIntosh. They get her to read a lot of them. But we're now nearly 3 years into the Jodie Whittaker era, and they still haven't put out one of those titles to my knowledge. Why is that? That they usually run parallel with on-screen Doctor Who.
Because she's shit. Hello.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we also remember everything.
It's okay. We'll that'll be the test.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Again, it's really important to keep in mind. Nobody saw this coming. The situation we're in, everything is changing. The only way that companies can make things for fandoms and that repel half of them is in an incredible economy. This incredible economy that we haven't realized we've been in for the last several years. We've been in like this boom economy. That's over. That's over.
Yes, that was the best economy I've been in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And people were saying it didn't exist. You're right, Rabbi. And you're to the books. Those books used to come out. Oh my God, I would order 2 or 3 a month at my shop. And they were a couple of months behind what you guys get over in the UK. I'm always a little behind, or was always a little behind with the comic shops. And I would just looked up as far as merchandising is concerned. Big Chief is somebody I used to order from and I don't order from. And their last statement came a week ago, and basically they said everything's shut down. We can't produce anything anymore. So Yeah, this era is dead, and you're right, Rabbi. This is going to be our mantra for a while now. This was the product of an affluent society. All of this arguing and bickering over identity and identity politics was the product of an affluent society who was sitting on a big fat cushion of cash, which is going to get burned up now. So as far as a commission series to 13, 14, and 15, that's all in question now. All of that's in question.
Could anybody answer this question? Have they literally shot the last one? That I think that one's going to be shown.
Yeah, the Dalek one. That's in the can.
That's shot.
All
right.
Finished.
Yeah, that's already done. That's done.
And I'm still convinced she's regenerating at that. Whatever they're saying, I'm convinced about it.
Oh, what a Christmas present that would be!
Is it odd?
It won't be. It won't be because she's going to be regenerating into that Cancel Estate Doctor. That's what's going to happen.
No, she's going to regenerate into Trailblazer.
Trailblazer. You know, she'll be in a wheelchair.
We no longer refer to it as Trailblazer. She's now the Hamburglar.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Have they ever shot a Christmas special this early? Like have one in the can this early before?
It depends on the year, because the Christmas specials, they've always been attached to the previous series.
Yes.
I think it depends on the series. I know the Christmas Invasion was shot not that long after series 1. I know that I think the Next Doctor was shot right after series 4. So it depends. So it's because they're part of the previous season. So it's actually cheaper to just include it as a recording block. There's going to be some space in between, but yeah, to have the Christmas special already in the can is not really that out of the ordinary.
You know what, guys, listen, guys, I have a plan. Okay, right. So I want to do my fan film to correspond with the Christmas one, the Jodie one, so the real fans could see a real Doctor Who episode rather than the crappy Jodie fest, basically. So I'm going to do my best. It's going to be a bit impossible because of this bear bug thing, but maybe I can achieve it, and you guys will have something other to watch than the Christmas Doctor Who. What do you reckon of that?
Bless your heart,
I like it. Well, actually, if I was going to cover this as part of the stream as well, because this is, well, technically your second stream because YouTube hates us today. But yeah, even if you just, I'll give you a couple minutes to just let everybody know of the project that you're undertaking. So
okay.
you have the floor, sir.
Okay, so I'm trying to do a Doctor Who fan film, and I have found the guy to play the Doctor, which is quite good. Yeah, so I was looking everywhere, and he was there basically. So I found him, and I think he'll make a really good Doctor. But the idea is to make a trailer first, a 30-second trailer first, to see how everybody responds to that. And then after the 30-second trailer is done, which the Rabbi has read the script for it, haven't you, Rabbi?
It's really fun. I'm really right. Yes, it's really fun.
There you go. Right. So it's only 30 seconds. And then let's see how people respond to that. And if it's a good response, then I'm going to try and push forward the 30-minute or 45-minute episode of this Doctor. And the idea is that it's still the Jodie Doctor does exist, but this Doctor is after her, if you know what I mean. And everything that the Master said was all a lie. So that's how I'm proceeding with this version of the Doctor. So hopefully, if I do get it made and it does go out, right, in whatever form it goes out with, hopefully the real fans will be watching this. More fans will be watching this one.
Oh, we get
the one on the BBC.
That'd
yeah, one on the BBC, and that will tell the BBC what we all think. Yeah, so that's the idea, right? That's the idea. But before I shoot it, I'm going to send it to Gary. I'm going to send it to Bostrek. I'm going to send it to the to the Rabbi and Critical Drinker before I shoot a frame of that thing, because I know how difficult it is to shoot a Doctor Who thing, and I know how difficult it is to get the story right. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. That's the plan. What do you reckon?
Sounds fantastic. Now, can I just tell everybody in watching? I thought, when everybody says fan film, you're like, you never know what you're walking into. can go over to Mega Geek's channel, Rebecca. I'll put it in the chat. Go over to the chat. Firstly, subscribe. Get him monetized. He's nearly at 1,000. But check out the movie he made, which is Rebecca Gold. It's like half hour long. It's fantastic. You know, when anybody says, "Oh, I made this thing," you always cringe. You're like, "Oh God, really?" And it's going to be awful. So when you see something that's just fantastic, it really is good. It really is. Listen, we've all got a lot of time on our hands. It's an extra half hour that you can fill your day with.
What I liked about it as well is it's distinctively very, very British.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Very difficult balance to strike, particularly with the sort of gun toting thing, because generally we don't do guns, do we?
No, we don't. No, but that's the plan, guys, and I hope that I can get some support from it. Obviously, I'll be looking for money, and I'll get an Indiegogo campaign up. But as I said, it's going to be difficult because of this lockdown thing. Nobody's
Depends on
allowed
how
out
long
the house
it
and
goes.
stuff. Sorry, say again.
Depends on how long it goes.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea for Christmas to shoot for that. I don't know how hard it is to shoot something like that, but yeah, if again, depending on how long things go, I'll help you out, and we can. It sounds fun. It sounds fun.
Well, while I've got you guys here, could somebody answer me a question which I'm trying to find the answer to? Do you know Romana, right?
Yeah.
Was she the president of Gallifrey? I know she went
Big
to East
Finish,
Bay.
yes. Yeah, on
Right,
Big
so
Finish.
in the show, she left. She was going to go to Gallifrey, but then she went to East Space. Is that true?
That's correct.
She'd been called back.
Back to Gallifrey.
She's being called back to Gallifrey. She didn't want to go back to Gallifrey. Then they get dragged into East Space, and then eventually she stays in East Space. But on Big Finish, she does eventually come back, and she does become president of Gallifrey.
But is that
High
canon?
Council president? Sorry,
Is that canon?
You know what? I think it probably is canon, because canon's a funny thing. Yeah, canon is about public perception. You know, it's like, and I really think that like nobody really thinks that hard about it. You know, but I really think that is canon.
If you remember, Mega Geek, I think it was around the time of the anniversary. Remember when they used to do those live shows at the Albert Hall, the live musical things? With all the incidental music being played. I think it was the anniversary one. They filmed a special trailer for that. And it was a montage of all clips from classic and new Who, with all the Murray Gold music playing over the top. But before they went into that, there was a short scripted introduction about the mythology of the Time Lords and the myth of the Doctor himself. And that, if I remember rightly, that was voiced by Lalla Ward in character as Romana, which would have been paid for by BBC Worldwide. If you can find that.
Wait, there's also the Paul McGann Sharda. She was the president in the Paul McGann Sharda. And
that's
so
the first instance, isn't it? That's the first instance we hear or see in the fiction was Romana, because it had been speculated by fans, hey, wouldn't it be great if Romana was the president of Gallifrey? That people were talking about that during the time that Doctor Who was off. And so when the Sharda webcast was made, which is around 2002, was it, Rabbi?
That was 2003, I think.
I just remember like that little postage size. Was it real time player?
Yeah.
They were like screech to the camera. You could just see it.
It was on the BBC website for years, actually, on the Doctor Who page.
Okay, so she's not president of Gallifrey anymore, though, is she? Because she's in this thing that I'm trying to do. So I was looking up the internet, trying to find out what happened to her. The only thing I've got is she went into East Space, and that's the only thing I've got.
Yeah, it's the only thing.
I'll send you a link.
I want to go into East Space too.
I think that you have a blank canvas. You can really do whatever you want, because there's nothing that's really been determined that's been written on screen.
All right, no worries. Okay, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'll keep fighting.
But I keep hearing when you talk about the myth of the Doctor, it's like, oh, we know it. It's still a black girl now. And where's Gallifrey? Oh, it's all destroyed. And all the Time Lords are freaking.
You know,
dead.
when I said I found a Doctor, it's the little black girl. I'm hiring her to play a Doctor.
Finally, she gets some lines.
Yeah.
You can make her not just a token. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I hope when I'm falling to my death, I look that peaceful.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to sleep now.
Did anybody ever work out what the what's his name again? The whole Call the Midwife section in
Brendan.
Brendan. Did anyone ever work out what the hell who he was? Like, what was that?
That was Chibs trying to be clever.
Trying to be Moffat.
Yeah, I was about to say trying to be Stephen Moffat, trying to set something up that ultimately went nowhere. Like literally nowhere. It was pointless. Other than Dr. Nasty can apparently remember segments of Brandon's life, and that's it.
And that's probably set up for next season. But the piss poor writing in this is you have to give more hints. You have to give a little more information. Or we just are left where we are now, questioning, going, what the hell was that? Because right before his brain got or his memory got wiped, it said they gave him that award, and on the back it says in service of the division. Well, why are you going to give him an award that he's going to forget about?
Yep.
Has anybody been brave enough? Sorry, Gary. Has anybody been brave enough to rewatch The Time Is Children yet?
No. Really?
Actually, when I did my review, I sat through that thing 4 times.
Yeah.
There was watching it originally, then there was 2 full watch throughs after that, and then I had to go through it a 4th time for screen caps. So and it gets worse each time you watch
it. Sir.
Also, guys, if anyone has got any ideas how we can twist the things that we hated in Doctor Who, like that bit where one of the Time Lords get hit by a laser, then changes into a black woman and says all that sexist thing. If we can do that as well, twist that, put that into it, that'd be hilarious.
Oh, if you do the reverse, it regenerates back into a man. It's like, oh my God. Thank God, I'm a man again. How do you? Oh my God, peeing sitting down sucks.
My dearest hope that on the official BBC, like when she finally regenerates and we get something, it gets back to normal. If that ever happens, his first line is, "Oh my God, that was awful."
Yeah, well,
referring to the. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you one line from my script, which is, I thought you were a woman. I thought you had an upgrade. And the doctor says, what is it? Oh, I can't remember now. Shit, I spoilt it. What was the line? I thought you had an upgrade. No, I'm all better now. That's what the doctor says. So there you go. So we have a go at that line too. So actually, it's better than that. Sorry, I've spoiled it. I've completely spoiled it. Anyway, carry on, guys. Carry on.
We'll forget about it, just like the division and this season and series 11.
Here's some hilarity from behind the scenes. My previous live stream, which was demonetized and shut down, is now monetized.
As if by magic.
This platform has no idea what it's doing. This is actually funny.
They're what did Drink put out a couple days ago? Like his notifications for a video went out a couple days later. I've had a couple videos go out with 0 notifications going out. They have a skeleton crew at YouTube here in San Bruno.
We're working out everybody's average video traffic right now is half to 1/3 of what it would be normally. And my videos on average, I have a general idea of how a video is going to perform. And right now I'm slightly below 50% where they should be at this time. So YouTube is definitely broken.
Yeah.
Oops.
It's odd. It's odd, but the live streams are doing okay. That's I guess that's good. Maybe they prioritize those.
Come on, guys, let's talk about cornflakes and MySpace. Let's talk about it.
I was going to finish off the super chats just in case we go down again. So just give me 1 second. I just have to go back in. Supers, refresh. Okay, so we did Scottish Nerd, Unicorn. We did Wes Moody, Thomas Backman. Wes Moody webcast again for $2. Who'd win a marathon, Tilly or Trailblazer?
Or obviously Tilly, because she's the bestest ever.
Oh God,
Hamburglar.
She's in the captain's training program. Of course, Tilly would.
Why did they turn the lights off and on when they were like? What was up with? God, it's so annoying. Why did you have to bring up that? what was up with that?
Don't know.
They went right. They went straight up insurrection on us. Oh my God! They went to a Malibu rehab in the last episode. Everybody looked like Tibetan monks, and it was unbelievably bad. It felt like a completely different show. It felt like episode 3 of a different season. It's getting harder to review. Thank God there's only one episode left.
Thank God there's only one left. Although the Data was it Soji, whatever her name is, way hotter. Way
God,
hotter.
yeah.
I'm like, what's up with that? I don't understand. You paint something gold, and now suddenly they're gorgeous. Well, okay, I should try that with me.
Seriously, shut the fuck up. That's got to be seriously. When that was that the last week's episode, wasn't it?
Admiral sheer effing hubris.
Yeah. No, that was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was week 4. It was episode 4. Oh no, 2 weeks ago. You're right.
What was that all about? Seriously. And then Picard was like, claps his hands like he's claimed victory
because the Federation ships are supposed to be on their way to Deep Space 12, where they're not going anymore.
Yeah.
When has there ever been a squadron in Starfleet? You've had a fleet. You've had an armada. You never had a squadron of small ships.
Commodore O is the hardest working woman in Star Trek. She can run Starfleet security and head a 218 ship armada of Romulan ships. Strong and powerful.
Is she on the ship? I thought it was Narek's sister was on the. Was she there? I don't know. Okay.
Cersei Romulan. Yeah.
They all look the same.
Seriously, that Picard is just getting worse. It really is.
Thank God. But when they're going to wheel out Discovery, do you reckon they? I don't even know if they're going to have the finances to do post production on Discovery season 3.
Isn't most post production done at this point, or they're just finished shooting?
That's
I have no idea.
They do it as they go along.
They do it as they go along these days.
Yeah, they do.
So it might be in the can, and my God, they could even release it early. They're going to start releasing a lot of stuff early that's ready. So, yeah. So the world needs Michael Burnham now more than ever.
We need the Imperial Death March.
But do you think Star Trek Discovery is going to link with Picard?
Oh, I almost certainly.
Really? Yeah. Why? Why?
In fact, I mean, assuming Picard's going to end up in a robot body next week, which obviously is going to happen, he could turn up in season 3 1,000 years later.
Well, he could do, yeah.
Discovery, I mean, they could easily link him up.
Yeah, he could do.
Well, they've already destroyed him.
Maybe they get Tom Hardy to play him, and Picard with Tom Hardy.
But he was, every time I watch him, it's so painful because you can tell he's really trying to talk. I don't know, there's something about his voice where it's like, it's it's so painful watching him.
I did wonder if he was putting it on or not to make himself sound older. Do you remember when Christopher Lambert did that at the start of Highlander 2 when the film starts? He's a really really old guy, and he's at the theatre and he's going, "Oh no!" So I did wonder if he was doing that.
There can be only one.
That was a really bad movie.
Christopher Lambert's old man acting.
I'd watch that 20 times before I had to watch Doctor Who.
It takes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. Your woman Emily Cook behind tonight's episode thing says, seeing as some of us are going to be isolated at home for the foreseeable, fancy watching some more Doctor Who together. She's proposing that people watch Rose on March the 26th as it's the 15th anniversary. And then she wants to do the 11th hour on the 3rd of April as it's
I love the 11th hour.
Yeah, I watched it today. I was just watching this before I came on to talk to you guys.
All right, Rose.
I've been checking while we've been on. It was actually trending at one. It's fourth now, entertained 28,000 tweets.
Wow.
Well, good for that. All right, it's good. But we watched Rose like a week ago. And what really struck me is after one episode, I knew a lot more about Mickey, Jackie, which are side characters, than I know about Yaz. I just what can you tell me about Yaz in terms of like what does she like? What type of sense of humor does she have?
A young person, like, starlight comes out of our eyes.
If we want to take part in this, we can point out all the plot holes the new series has given us. Every time they mention regeneration and Gallifrey and the time, just all of it. Yeah, we can. That'll be fun. R.I.P. Doctor Who.
Yep, and just use that hashtag every
single time.
There are still people using Doctor Who hashtag Doctor Who though, which is not helping.
Not me.
No.
I'm using Whovians R.I.P. Doctor Who, which is great. Yeah. I'm using Whovians R.I.P. Doctor Who and DR Who because none of those are official. And of course, Hartnell was first.
Hartnell.
Always.
Yeah.
Or Hartnell shot first. I'm going to go for that.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, keep using that stuff. It's still autofilling, and I'm so proud of everybody. Yeah, it does help. They because BBC tracks all that, just like just CBS does. So.
Who was I talking to in the week? Was it? I think it was the Rabbi and you, Mega Geek. We were speaking about some sort of coordinated event where for 12 hours we just create a Twitter storm just of pictures, all using the hashtag RIP Doctor Who and Hartnell first. Just lots and lots and lots of pictures from the first 12 incarnations of Doctor Who, celebrating the life of Doctor Who before it was tragically extinguished 3 or 4 weeks ago, whenever it was, and keep it positive, keep it upbeat like that. No images at all from what's gone on in the last couple of series. And just to flood Twitter, storm Twitter with love for the stuff that we liked. And that way they can't say that we're peddling hate. They can't say that we're this and we're that and we're the other. And we're trying to be divisive. We're trying to unite people in their grief and their love of the good stuff.
I think that's a really good idea.
They will absolutely say we're peddling hate. Doesn't matter what we do.
Just for 12 hours in memory of Peter Capaldi.
I think it's a really good idea, to tell you the truth. I think
everybody in the chat, if you like the idea of that, people in the chat, let us know.
And I would argue peddling hate is mentioning that everything that came before is a practice in the male gaze, destroying canon that kept the show around for decades. I would say that is hateful.
Me too.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as anyone that gives me a bit of hate, all I say is, that's your opinion. I respect it. God bless you. That's the only answer I give them, and they don't get back. So that's cool. Yeah. So I would recommend everybody does that now.
Kill them with kindness. That's what you do.
Exactly. Yeah, because there are provocateurs out there coming out as Bolstrek mentioned, true ists and phobes, and trying to attach our hashtags to it.
Yeah.
I generally do not believe that's any of us. I think that is the other side trying to stir things up. Because I've seen it happen with Star Wars, Star Trek. It really happened with Star Trek a lot.
The one incident yesterday, I know who's behind it, and it's somebody from the other side who attacked another YouTube channel. And this channel, we have different views, but this specific channel has they've never attacked anybody. They've never done anything what I would call toxic themselves. They just stay true to their own views. And I think that's why this particular channel was targeted. But yeah, this does not represent us. But when I saw the accounts, I knew exactly who was behind it.
Yep.
And it's from the other side.
Bolstrek, you mentioned that yourself and Gary have been blamed for taking down Doctor Who.
Well, if you ask Twitter, because we apparently we organized the campaign to destroy it on Rotten Tomatoes, and we've been encouraging people not to watch it. So we crashed the ratings. So it's all us.
No, well, this is it. There was never any campaign, and the only people who ever tell you not to watch Doctor Who, the people who tell people like us to stop watching if we don't like it, they're the only people who ever say that.
I can say they won't believe it, but we haven't organized anything. This is an organic movement that came from Chris Chibnall's writing.
Yep. And guys, I actually, and I've said this before, but I've never even voted myself on Rotten Tomatoes. And if somebody were to say, go downvote this, whatever, because we don't like it, but without actually seeing it, then I would discourage that as well. Oh, go ahead, Gary.
No, I was just going to say, sorry, apologies. That I did a couple of times encourage the fans, the Jody bots, to come and vote the dang show. Come on.
Exactly.
Where are you? And they don't.
No, because they don't watch it.
Yep.
That's so true.
They don't watch it. They only melt on Twitter and melt on Facebook and shame anybody or slag anybody or attack anybody that has a problem with the era. What people seem to get mixed up with is because we have a problem with this era, somehow we hate Doctor Who. I don't know how many times we have to tell these clowns. We love Doctor Who. That's why we're so passionate. That's why we want to see it be the best that it can be. And right now it's not. And if tonight is any reminder, even though I didn't watch, I don't like the 50th personally, so I wouldn't have got involved with it. I might get involved with the 11th hour one if it does any good, if it embarrasses the BBC some way. It's not got to do with the BBC, but if it embarrasses them, I will take part in the next one, because at the end of the day, that's Doctor Who. You go back and watch Rose, you watch the 11th hour. That's the standard, right? And Series 11 and 12 have not even got to that level. So it's not good enough. So these fans have to realise that there's fans out there that actually like their entertainment to be a bit more higher quality than what we're doing. Right, and it's supposed to entertain, not preach to us, and that's all this series has done. So of course we're going to be angry because we've seen everything that we love be destroyed right in front of our in one episode. It took one episode for that man to destroy everything.
No, you know what's that
voice I am still upset about. It still fucking annoys me. This man, why? What was the purpose of it? I know what the purpose was. It was to actually upset fans like me. He has succeeded.
It was.
You know what I mean? And the fact is that, you know what? Best thing that can happen is Series 13 does get delayed, because maybe BBC need that kind of reason.
Definitely being delayed. Everything's going to get delayed.
They can't continue. They can't continue with Chris Chibnall. They really can't, because there won't be an audience. There won't be a fandom left for when Series 13 or 14 comes around. It's certainly Series 13. They're going to struggle anyway. They're going to struggle even this festive episode. They don't realize what's coming. They really don't, and they need to open their eyes. And all it's not good enough. You need.
There was one girl on Twitter that messaged me saying, because I said I'm done with the show, and she said, oh well, you know, if it's not for you, move on, go to another show on TV and stuff like that.
Yeah, they'll just go to that show.
And I said, oh, thank you for the advice. Yeah, God bless you. And that was it. Then I get nothing back from her because I'm not screaming at her. That's my point.
But they don't understand the word fanatic. If they actually looked up the dictionary and actually looked up the term fanatic, then they'd understand where we're coming from. They're not fans. They're not fans. All they care about is representation, whether the Doctor and Yaz are going to scissor each other next season.
Doctor for the Rabbi.
There's some things you can't unsee.
Scissor each other, man. It's going to be ridiculous. Get away.
Vigorously.
The point I'm trying to make is don't give them an inch, man. If they have a go at you, just say thank you, and that's it. Because you'll just go on and on.
It is easy to say that, but when you're being attacked on a daily basis, right? There's only so much you can take, and you do have.
Why don't you try it, Noel? Try it, Noel. See if it works. I bet it will work.
I have.
These people are crazy. These people are absolutely crazy. You can't assign rationality. Your boy Zach, he describes them perfectly. They are the worst people that the human race has ever produced. Worse than the Taliban. Worse than they have just directionless hate. That's all they are. And they band together but they are the absolute worst that humanity has ever produced.
Yep. You mentioned about they can leave their comments on Rotten Tomatoes just as easily as we can, and the likes of us can.
Well, there's only 4 of them.
This is what they don't like. You see, we've found our voices, we've taken our mics or our webcams or whatever, and we've been heard. And their response more than any other, and Noel, you've had more of this probably than any of us, is to immediately discredit in any way that they can. You know, I've found this. I've had over the last few weeks since on my podcast, since on Type 40, myself, And more often than not, it's Starry-Eyed Girl, my friend Simon Horton, the original Hoonatic, and the Rabbi's been on recently. And we've gone through this week after week after week. And gradually the podcast has started to spike as interest in the show, and people download and stream podcasts more and more to get these reviews. So people have been coming after me deliberately, sort of, and when you're very pleasant and very reasonable and very balanced and very welcoming of the constructive criticism, there's nothing that winds them up more. And the more that you hold that line, which I don't find particularly difficult, you know, I'm not this person who's filled with bile and hate, and neither of any of you guys, you know. So the fact that they can't seem to get the reaction that they need, they walk away usually in a huff or unfollow or whatever else. You know, there's a couple of other podcasters who I did respect. Not after the last couple of weeks, they came after me. They came for the throat, and because I didn't play the game, the kind of game that they thought I was going to play. You know, they took the ball away.
Yeah, that's my stance in it as well. Totally.
You gotta pick your battles. I mean, it depends on how you run your channel, and it depends on how you do things. I out of necessity, I just do not respond to any of it because I need to take that time to respond to the positive comments, which I mean, believe me, it's 100 to 1 positive. Yeah. But I understand where Noel is coming from, and Bulls Trek in particular, where for some reason they've laser focused on them. I mean, not on Drink or me, or they've laser focused on them with some particularly foul stuff that had to be responded to. I mean, there's certain things that has to be responded to. But that, generally I don't get it because I don't know. I'm too busy. It's weird because it'll be a Doctor Who episode, then they'll pile on for like a day and I'll ignore them and they'll go away. And then the Star Trek people come, and now I'm getting the comic people and whatever, you know. I mean, that goes with the territory. It does. But each person deals with it in their own way. It's okay. And so, you know, Noel's a fighter, man. Noel's not going to take that shit, right, buddy? You're gonna like, you get slapped, you're going to get slapped back. I get it.
Here's the thing: it doesn't matter how big or small the YouTuber is. If they punch down, I punch up. It's as simple as that. And at the end of the day, if someone's going to write stuff about me, and this has been going on for a good
couple of years.
And no, but I mean on Twitter, this particular case been going on a good few months now, and I haven't said anything. I've kind of kept relatively out of it. And then other people start getting dragged into it, some of my subscribers and stuff. And he was having a go at them. Won't mention the person's name on this channel because we're not giving them any. I did my video. He didn't like it. He reacted badly actually to the video, which and now he's trying to save face, and then he went out lashing again last night. It's just it's ridiculous. Like, there's more important things. I have to be honest, right? I know I'm not responding back to him again anyway, but I will just say this: there's more important things going on in the world right now, and having these ridiculous arguments over and over and over again, you know, it's not getting us anywhere. At the end of the day, if he doesn't like what I have to say, fine, fair enough. Just block me.
And no, the reason people are connecting with us is because we're generally not responding. For example, I did a Watchmen review. Okay, people who saw my Watchmen reviews. That's where I got the harshest criticism, and somebody decided to just Photoshop my face and Doomcock's face on a couple of Yahtzees. You know, my kids saw that. You know, and they don't think about that stuff, but you know what? The other side does. The real people, who are the grown-ups in here, see that stuff. Yeah. And that's why our channels are growing, because we don't stoop to that. We don't make videos about individuals. We don't punch down. That's the way we need to keep doing it. They're digging their own grave.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying, with that, look at about 8 weeks ago, or right after Spyfall Part 2. These people completely invalidated themselves with the attack or the cancellation attempt that came upon me, and it just made them look even worse. It worked against them, and that's the difference. I'm like, our side, you know, we're vocal. We, you know, and some of us, you know, I use the potty mouth and yell in videos, and you know, Doomcock may take over the world. I was worried about what was going to happen when he finally saw the Timeless Children. Yeah. But it's, we attack the ideas, and I go after public figures. I don't go after individual YouTubers. Well, actually, I still haven't gone after anybody on YouTube. But even on Twitter, I don't go after them until they go after me. Most of the time, I just ignore it. But occasionally, I will get in a Twitter spat, and I got in one hell of a Twitter spat last night. But it's, we're not the ones creating false documents. We're not the ones photoshopping.
Yep.
We're not the ones doxing people, revealing people's faces, things like that. That's just not what we do. I would categorize everybody here under the fandom menace, the larger term, which really applies to anybody that's fighting against this woke crap. It's, I've met so many people, both on YouTube, just regular people that follow our videos, and that's what they are. They're regular people. They're not ideologues. Most of them, I think, politically, if you want to get that way, are in the center. They just want good entertainment back. They don't want to be lectured to. And that's what our side is. We are, I'd like to think we're relatively genuine. The other side isn't genuine because all they can do are hurl the same ists and phobics. And I've tried, occasionally I will try reasoning with them. And it's just a circle, just repeating the same things over and over again. You give them an argument and, okay, well, you're an ist if you believe that. Well, why am I an ist? Because you're an ist and you're a phobic. So you have no argument. Okay, good to know. I'm just going to go and do something else.
Bolstrick, they feel completely vindicated and justified in their behaviour towards yourself or any of us or all the people who are watching us in the chat who would agree with us, maybe do agree with us. They feel vindicated because they see the example being set for them by the people running Doctor Who, and that clearly detectable air of sheer spite that's sort of drifting up from that show in the way that Chris Chibnall puts his stories together and what very little dialogue we actually get, and then what characters like Jodie Whittaker go out and say in public, that Dr. Airhead, as I call her on my show, the things that she's been putting out there publicly, and so they feel justified in
exactly.
They pick up on that spite, and that's the arms that they take up to come back at us with.
Yep. You're right. They create the atmosphere. The showrunner and as soon as Jodie was cast, they set the atmosphere and the mood for the fandom from then on in. And it was Jodie Whittaker hasn't really done many favors, and she hasn't really embraced the fandom as the rest of her predecessors have actually.
That's why. No, that's why though, mate. Even though, like you say, you haven't got much time for the anniversary. That's why events like this save the date, and that's why these are so important, because it's born out of pure love, the desire to bring people together again, positivity, celebration around an episode that we actually liked for the most part, and best of all, it's nothing to do with either the BBC themselves or Chris Chibnall. Anybody from the current production has not said a word. And Bolstrek, as far as I'm concerned today, with what little we've had from Stephen Moffat has officially joined the hashtag Fandom Menace.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think he had a while ago.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
I think there's something going on with him. I think this is very clever, because even that little Sontaran, not Sontaran, Sontaran, no, Strax, that is Strax video. There was definitely digs in there. There was definitely ironic. It was definitely ironic as well in some of the stuff. I'm telling you, there's something definitely going on behind.
Can somebody pull up what he said? Can somebody pull that up?
Oh, that video? Yeah, where was it?
Was it a statement on a video, or was it?
I've got it here.
It was a video put out.
I don't know if you can actually show it though. There might be a copyright issue though.
Well, I've got the tweet that Big Finish put out from Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, what did he say?
Yeah,
This was the very first whisper we had, and it said, setting up temporary Twitter account for the Day of the Doctor tweet along. We'll be destroying it after the account, that is, not the show. And then, then he says, not the show. He says the account, not the show. Well, we'll see. And then a few dots leading off. So
I sent you.
I have a screenshot, gentlemen.
Oh, Greg, I sent you the whole thread of that whole conversation that he had on Twitter. He's actually, I have to say, I miss Moffat, the way he used to go on social media, because he hasn't lost it. He still has that cheeky vibe going through his some of his tweets and everything. He says, I don't care. He says, I knew he was talking about the Fez. He wrote one up about the Fez or something, and he was saying something about his vanity, and he said, I don't care. It's what I wanted to do, or something like that. Like he's brilliant. I have to say he is. He's always been a bit of a showman. I just didn't like his Clara storyline, but we won't go there.
That's fine. Listen, you like it a lot more now. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
Any news you didn't like, go and check it out. It's so much better.
I don't like it. No, I still don't like it. I mean, if I don't like something, I don't like something. I don't like this era, but I still don't like certain parts of Moffat's era. But would I take that over what we got now? Yes, but I still wouldn't be happy with some of it.
But it sounds like Moff is basically when you read that, what it came across to me is that he was having a go at the Jodie era.
I think he's traveling.
Yeah, you got to see the video they put out. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it really is taking the piss out of the Jodie era quite severely.
Oh, that's good then.
And
right?
it's really bizarre. Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I think how he must feel. He's literally just had everything ripped off from. Yeah, the season finale, The Time of Children, just shamelessly ripped off his season finale from 2 years ago. Which
that is brilliant. That tweet. That is brilliant tweet.
It sounds like Moff is on our side.
Yeah, it does.
He is, but he can't come out because
Of course.
He can come out subtly, but he's been on our side since he recorded his interview with Mark Gatiss for the.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow. I never thought he'd be on our side. I mean, me and him have got afros, but never thought he'd be on our side.
I think a lot of them are on our side, but they
can't say anything.
Yeah, the ones that go to cons and rely on their income from cons,
right.
Yeah, they can't say anything. So I understand that. Nicholas Briggs is in the
The first tweet you put out on this temporary account is Strax is a timeless child.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Second hell. He's brilliant. Yes. He's brilliant. I still can't get that storyline though. Like I'd still like if I seen him, I'd still question that. But I take him back. I take him back tomorrow. Listen, there's something going on behind the scenes. He's not going to come out because, as Gary said, there's a bit. They are supposed to be friends as well. He mightn't be happy what Chibnall is doing, but he's not going to come out directly. He will do it subtly. That's the way he's always done.
It's professional courtesy as well now.
Yeah, professional courtesy. But I reckon after and all, people are going to tear this apart. It's
okay. You've got to go and see his. I'm reading through his tweets. He's talking about here. I'm going to. Let me see if I can.
Put them up. I put the thread up, Bolstrek. I sent you the whole thread, man. You'll be able to put it up. I sent it in DM for you.
What's that?
Okay, just give me a sec. Did you just send it, Noel?
Yeah, I sent you the whole thread from the very first tweet that he sent out on the account. So the whole thread is there.
Was that earlier?
I can't believe he's saying this stuff.
I know. This is what I'm saying. He's quite cheeky. You have to check.
You sent me the link. Okay, just give me a sec.
I sent you the whole lot, the whole thread, yeah.
Okay, so I'll just screen share this. Just give me a second.
He's been tweeting and tweeting and tweeting the entire time through the entire screening.
The Morbius Doctors are actually incarnations of Stephen Moffat.
He's taking the piss, man.
Big time.
Sorry. Oh, I dropped the P-bomb. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, wait. Okay, I actually created Ryan Sinclair in the first draft of Dare the Doctor before I realized it should be about the Doctor instead.
No, where's that?
Oh my god! I'm like, I thought of it.
What's he at?
I'll send you the link to the Twitter account, okay?
So he's on our side then. That's what it sounds like to me.
So clearly, he hates it.
Bless your heart, Stephen Moffat.
I'm going to screenshot all them because he might take that account down.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
Archive all that and please send it to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody get this.
I can see.
It's on Twitter right now. What's the Twitter account? What is it?
It is at Stephen W. Moffat.
Gotcha.
No,
Just-
it's different.
just
No,
in
it's not that. Here, what's it? I'm putting it in the private chat right now.
Okay.
Just in case the Strax video disappears as well, I have taken a grab of that, and you'll find it in my Facebook group, Type 40.
I can see Gary's next video. I can see Gary's next video.
Well, I have one done. I can add this to.
Yeah. Why don't
Okay,
you?
so Stephen Moffat. So this is March.
I don't
I
know.
can't believe it. He's on our side. I can't believe it, man.
I can believe he's on our side. I'm just amazed he's coming out. The clock, coming out. He's on our side.
Pleased to announce Tom Baker's nose is canon.
Oh, that's the spoof one. Yeah.
Oh,
Are you sure this is him though?
That's
that
the
is
spoof.
Yes,
the one
100%
said
this is him. Yes.
it's definitely his account because I went into the official. The girl Emily Cook. That's the account that she got. That's his account.
Okay, so
cool.
so this is actually Stephen Moffat.
The one that's on screen at the moment. No, if
And
you
he
look
could
at the
so
top,
get away
it's,
with it all.
The one that's on screen now in front of us isn't Stephen Moffat. Look, it's spelt differently. And
Okay, yeah, so that's a
you're looking for the account that's got him sat at his
That's,
mouth.
that's the one.
yeah.
Oh man, I had the wrong
Yeah,
one.
Ryder, this is the temporary account for the Day of the Doctor tweet along.
You better get the screen grab of all that. all that
Well,
comments.
miss that show. Miss the madness and the speed and the vitality of it. And I miss you a lot. Stay well. Stay home. So, you could read a little bit into this. Miss that show.
Yeah. So yeah, the guy's definitely on our side.
Wait 1 second. I'm looking at this tweet that's on the Big Finish site. The link he gives is the other one. Stephen. How do we say? Right. Yeah. I think this is him.
Which one?
I think.
How many are following? Yeah, 10.9 thousand followers.
This is him. That's
And
him.
this is a new account. So yeah, I think
it's Stephen M 168-38738.
yeah, that's that is this one.
Yeah, that's the one, and that's the one that's on the Big Finish, Big Finish Twitter stream, Twitter whatever feed from him.
Yeah, it's not.
See if I can find Big Finish Twitter.
Go to Big Finish. It's from 6 hours ago. It's from 7 hours ago.
I need Columbo to sort this out.
Yeah, 1 hour, 2 hours. Well, they tweeted a lot today. Victorian crime fighting.
At 6:30, he had 3 tweets up. Me and Cheryl were watching it. And then at 2 minutes past 6:30, he put the David Tennant video up. There was 4 tweets. And then after we watched it, it crashed and it was on the other page. It was definitely the other page. And I got that off Emily Cook, the girl that actually put up the watch along. She's the one that organized it. She put the other Stephen Moffat account up. So unless you put up 2, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is the one that Big Finish. So this is the official Big Finish channel. Yeah. So it was the 738. So yeah, it was that account. Oh wait. Oh no, sorry. I don't even have this up here. Just give me a second, guys. Sorry about that. There we go. So yeah. So this is Big Finish. This is the tweet. That's the account.
Wow.
And you can tell right
are we
here.
Sure that's him though? Are we sure it's not? That's
Exactly.
weird.
Yeah,
I don't
because-
know.
It's probably a
That's
troll
girl
account, but
on the other one.
Listen, I think it's him. I think it's him, and he's putting in plausible deniability.
Yeah, because this is the official Big Finish account, 44.5 thousand followers, and I'm following it, so this is Big Finish.
so Big Finish retweeted that.
Yeah,
Wow.
It
Okay.
would have
Yeah.
been before his tweet came up, and remember that Nick Briggs and Stephen Moffat are
Now,
really good
okay,
friends.
they could have done it accidentally because they got suckered into this, but then they would have deleted the tweet, don't you think? Or-
Yeah.
oh yeah, because this
Yeah.
was so Eastern Standard Time, so this was 9:41 this morning. So this was what? It's almost 5. This was like 7 hours ago. and it's still
Yeah,
up.
but the one that everybody is looking at and Eddie Ascaro and all's commenting in it is the one where he's sitting down on the computer screen. That's the one that everybody is actually commenting on, though. That's the thread.
But this is the good one.
This is the legit one.
I hope it's him.
I don't want to go. I reserved his
screenshot the way I've been because I've been screenshotting all these tweets. So this is the real one. Just want me to continue to screenshot his tweets just in case he puts the countdown.
It's Moffat. He'll take the account down. He hates Twitter.
Well, I don't know where I stopped. Where did I stop? Oh, something about Dick Van Dyke. It was, yeah. Where is it? Oh, he did say about the Peter Cushing. He said we had the Peter Cushing movie posters here in the script, but we couldn't get the copyright.
Yeah, I think that was for the original script. Yeah, because it's that copyright isn't held by the BBC. It's held by the partially by the Terry Nation estate, and God, which film company filmed those, or which studio? I can't remember offhand, but the studio that owns the rights to the film, or two films. But anyways,
Bernard Cribbins was in it. One of them, wasn't he?
Yep.
It's a shame that they mentioned that.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been a nice little touch, but
I think that one that Big Finish put out, I think that's I think it's real.
Yeah,
I think it's real.
I think this was boosted by. Hang on, let me double check this. I think it was boost set up today. Temporary tweet along with. Just featuring. I'm seeing if Radio Times boosted that one or not.
I really hope so. I hope it's him.
I don't think they did.
Let's see. I'll just do a quick search here.
It's interesting that the hashtag is saved today, though, isn't it? Who came up with that? Save today
that was the one from back in the day. That was the one.
Yeah,
from
that was.
Yeah, that was the one from 2013.
I don't remember that. Was it?
Yeah, just seeing
everywhere.
Just to show you how much I was paying attention. I went to see that in the pictures. My brothers actually got me the ticket for that. I'll have the ticket around somewhere. I'll try to actually fish it out for you guys. Sometimes probably battered up and all and old looking, but I'll have it there somewhere.
Well, I saw it with the cast and crew, so they're there.
People were actually coming out after watching it. We were queuing up to actually go in. And here was everybody.
Oh, hey, no, Radio Times links to that one. Radio Times links to the Stephen M16838738.
Yeah, that account linked by I'll just
so it's either the best troll ever, or it's Stephen.
Wow.
So Radio Times and Big Finish both linked to this account.
And I bet he put the PH in just to give him to make it seem plausible deniability.
Yeah.
And if they can him, he said, "Look, I was just a joke."
He's on our side. He's on our side. Unbelievable.
I think so.
Yep.
Chris Persia's following him. I see you there, Chris. I see you there, buddy.
That
is so great. Either way, I'm almost more impressed if it's a troll. I would. Yeah. Oh my God, that would be the best thing ever. So
but that's just.
Yeah, screenshot the article and everything. I'm going to archive.
It's made my day. It's made my day. It's made my day. Absolutely made my day.
And it got retweeted by Big Finish. So Big Finish retweeted that account and then retweeted the Radio Times article.
Yeah, and Radio Times, which is about as official as you get. Well, goddamn it. Okay, let's all just clap for Moffat. Thank you, Stephen Moffat.
It's deleted. The account's been deleted.
The entire account.
Thank God I screenshotted them all. Yeah, it's gone. It's deleted.
Just a minute. I'm going to.
I have it up.
Yeah, I've got it up. I'm just opening it in another tab.
The entire account's been deleted.
No, it's still there.
No, it's here. His last tweet.
It's here. I got it.
Yeah, I just refreshed. I'm still following. Yeah, it's still here.
Wait, we're talking about the M16 account?
Yep.
I am currently on it right now,
Yep, so
screenshotting
am I.
every tweet. 1, 2,
Wow,
3,
here,
4,
look,
5,
I'll
6,
screenshot
7,
it.
On that Stephen Moffat account, he says, missed that show. We put this up 39 minutes ago. Missed that show, missed the madness and the speed and the vitality of it. And I miss you lot. Stay well, stay home. And if you indulge in panic buying, take it all to the door of the nearest NHS worker. Save the world. #save the day.
This could just be somebody doing this, but if we look at this
It was
other
a
account,
troll.
so
Yeah.
Moffat, one following, it's Stephen Moffat.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Frozen. He's actually frozen.
And no, this is, and it says right here, it says, "Stop tagging me. He's Stephen W. Moffat now," right under his account. So it was Stephen Moffat.
Very clever of him.
Yes.
Very clever.
Brilliant.
But that's just made my day. That has just made my
wonderful.
day. Yeah.
Well, here, listen,
Get those screenshots.
I think it's clear. This era will not stand. It is going to go away.
No.
Do you think they might bring him back? Do you think he's itching?
No,
I think they're
no, he's-
desperate. They'll bring anybody.
No, Moffat and RTD are both clear. They don't want to come back to the show. None of them even want to write for the show.
What if he? Because we know he has an ego, right? So what if he wants to? If Chibnall completely screws this up, he probably think he'd be the man that could correct it. You know,
But
JJ tried that, didn't he? JJ tried that.
I
didn't
can
he?
see them giving somebody a blank check. I sincerely can. Russell T Davies wouldn't take it. I don't know about Stephen Moffat. I
reckon they should give the blank check to Gary. Gary and Drinker.
I'll take it. I'll promote the show, and Drinker can write it.
Write it, yeah.
If they're smart, they'll get Rebecca Levine, who edited the Virgin Books range, and she's like producing Emmerdale now, right?
Yeah.
She was. She hasn't been on Emmerdale for a few years, but she's still working in television. She's still very prolific, from what I understand.
And she still is a woman, so that's a.
There were several women.
Well,
I mean, they approached Sally Wainwright to take over the big Robin Hood show that the BBC used to run about 2008, 2009. They even went into development with Sally Wainwright on that show, and then they all got cold feet while it was. I think it was still in pre-production because that was a successful show with Jonas Armstrong, if you remember.
I thought they were going to replace him with the redheaded guy from EastEnders.
The redheaded guy. Oh, you mean the guy who? Oh, the guy who.
The guy from Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Yes, hey, baby, give us a smile. That guy.
Rob Kaczynski. That's him. Yeah,
that's
they did move to bring him into an action series version. Yeah, but no, never.
Well, maybe there's hope after all for Doctor Who. Who knows? Hopefully, there'll be hope.
Gary.
Honestly, I think Doctor Who is the least likely one to course correct using the current global situation as an excuse, because they are ideologues. They are so attached to this. Like, they think we're all disgusting human beings for not watching them, for not loving this Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's their whole attitude. They don't sympathize with us at all. They just look at us as primitive plebs. Who obviously don't understand how enlightened we are.
Yeah. Meanwhile, CBS, Warner, Big Finish, they've all got to make money. They're all commercial operations.
But there'll come a day when all this woke stuff and female agenda will disappear, and we'll all be celebrating like the Ewoks.
I think we're in the middle of it. Depending on how long things go on. This is a life-changing event for everybody.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Gary, have you been able to watch any Doctor Who yet?
Nope.
Wow.
Okay, I really recommend. Go and put on Rose. It will reconnect you. It's incredible.
I'm gonna probably review it on the anniversary.
The 11th hour. The 11th hour is the best.
Starry-eyed girl and I recording a podcast reviewing this tomorrow, aren't we? She's in the chat.
Well, aren't we doing 11th hour, Rabbi?
Yeah. You and me were doing 11th hour tomorrow.
We're doing
if anybody else wants to jump onto it, we're doing it like noon UK time, which would be whatever. Crack of dawn in America.
Yeah.
But look, anybody wants to jump on, feel free.
I love the 11th hour. I think it was, in my opinion, the best one in my opinion. That start of the next Doctor. It's the best one.
Certainly, I think the strongest debut episode for.
Well, look at the cast in it. I mean, just the side characters end up being, one of them won an Academy Award, and the other one ended up in Umbrella Academy. And if Henry Cavill bows out of Superman, that would be my Superman pick. You dye his hair black, and
we had Sir Patrick Moore as well.
Yeah, Patrick Moore's in it as well. Yeah.
Yep.
I just love it. I just love the whole episode. The whole episode was genius. He wasn't dazed. He wasn't confused like when he changed from another Doctor. He was totally on the ball. And I don't care what anyone says. I love the idea that a Pond was tiny, and then he comes back and she's a grown up. And I think it was just genius.
Yeah, no, I tell you, I think it's one of the best constructed. No, let's go through them. What debut episode or story was better? Time in the Rani? No.
I think Christmas Invasion is up there.
Yeah.
See, no. Twin Dilemma, man.
Christmas Invasion.
Well, the Christmas Invasion, the only problem I have with the Christmas Invasion is that David Tennant came in kind of halfway through it.
Exactly. It lacked David Tennant. And that's what I really missed about it.
I think that was the best thing about the episode.
Yeah, I think the way they plotted it was actually, I think it was brilliant. And you can see what RTD was trying to do with that script. Whereas the first half of the episode, the Doctor is incapacitated. So you see just everything go to absolute hell. And
You're
then
absolutely right. And they canonized Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy too.
Yeah, they did. But I didn't like the sword fight was rubbish though. Let's face it.
No, I liked it.
It was rubbish. Come on. It was rubbish.
I think it really set up the Doctor's personality. Like gave you a different
I love the 11th hour so much. I
love the 11th hour. I think the 11th hour was the best one in my opinion.
Yeah, but the Christmas is up there. I'm not saying the 11th hour is not better.
Spearhead from space.
But the Christmas
from space.
Spearhead does take a lot of beating. I love Spearhead and Robot. I'd include the pair of the Daleks in that as well if we could actually see it. Because when
the animation's great. I love the animation.
Yeah. Well, Power of the Daleks, you like that animation, dear?
Yeah, I love the story. I'm not so keen on the animation myself.
It's better than anything else we got.
Bloody story.
Yeah, Rabbi, you're quite right. At least we can see some form of it.
It has some. It's such great writing with the bit with the apple when he says to Amy, he says, "Look at that apple." Do you know what I mean? It's just like you had it yesterday. It's great writing.
That sword fight.
It's very important.
I haven't seen that. Where did you get that figure from?
This is they made a limited run. They made a limited run gown and pajamas, and this I don't know. No, this is there was a limited run that they had. So
is that 12-inch or 5-inch?
That is 1/6 scale, 12-inch.
Wow, awesome. That's crazy.
Was it big chief?
You get the best toys, Gary.
Yeah.
That one's awesome. No, the only one I don't have is the Peter Capaldi with his burgundy jacket on. That one they did that at a show, and you can't find it.
I have to get Ian on here at some point so he can show off his collection.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, no,
right there. Yeah. Oh wow! Look at that one.
That's still
crazy.
The look for Capaldi for me.
I loved his. The first costume was.
Why did they change it though?
The Mod Father look, just perfect for it.
Why did they change it? They kept changing it all the time.
I know.
Well, I think the idea with Capaldi's the entire reign was supposed to be the entire life cycle of a regeneration. So that first year, that season 8, he was brand spanking new. For I think that covered like his first 2 or 3 weeks after the regeneration. And then the second year was him like established as a Doctor. We were supposed to get 2 more years like that, but then we went into his retirement years for season 10. Which again, I really like season 10. Everybody hates it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's my favorite Capaldi year.
Couldn't be wrong. Could be wrong. Freaking woke and terrible. Come on.
It is a work of brilliance compared to what we have now. I have to rewatch it though. I haven't seen.
It is a bit of a woke fest, but I do have a soft spot for Series 10. Smile is an episode that I really actually.
That was okay. Yeah.
Wasn't that the one with the? Yeah, that's the one with the
emoji robot.
The difference between season 10 and season 11 and 12 is Bill Potts is a character. is a three-dimensional character. Yeah, they have all this like very false dialogue in her first episode, where she goes, "Hey, I'm a lesbian, everybody! Oh, I fancy a girl."
The doctor saying whitewash. The doctor saying the Orange Man. I mean,
is it the Orange Man?
He mentions the Orange Man. I put that clip in one of my videos.
Which episode was that?
3-parter in the middle. Isn't it Bill that says that? I wouldn't vote for him. He's orange or something like that.
No, he says there's some. It was in the. It was the doctor falls. Some things are inevitable. Cell phones.
I apologize. You're quite right. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Garbage and the Orange Man.
Okay.
What about stupid line he says when they're in the 19th century with all those black people around?
Yeah, whitewashing.
That's just ridiculous, right? Because
by the way, I've just been alerted to something. Do you know at the end where we see a scene of Gallifrey, or in the war room as such, and they say all 13 doctors. Remember someone just says to me, he says all 13, not however many some people wanted to say it. Like,
or 50,000.
Do you think this episode was deliberately picked though? Because of that, I don't know. There's something about this that just doesn't sit right.
Here's the problem they're having, Noel. They agree with us, but they don't want to. They're in a quandary right now because that's what culture video is all about. Is they have come around to our way of thinking, but they just don't want to do it because they don't want to see themselves associated with people they have been calling istophobes for the last 2 or 3 years. And it's their own, and this is how you paint yourself into a corner. And that's why, What Culture has millions or a couple million subs, and not that many people are watching their videos relatively anymore. Because you lose connection with your audience, because your audience is smart and they see through that crap.
That's the conclusion that I'd come to as well. If you think about, all of us have been either planning to record streams, podcasts, or shows about Rose. That's the obvious episode to go back to and do one of these things about, because we're about to hit this anniversary, or the 11th hour being 10 years. Everybody else is looking to those particular episodes. Why this one? So I think even if they'd never admit it, they may not even be aware of it. It may be completely subliminal, but I think it's definitely sort of rose to the surface. Dissatisfaction.
I think it's pretty clear that just about everybody who's been against the Phantom Menace but loves Doctor Who has egg all over their face after Timeless Children, and they all know it. They just like all look so stupid now. It was like me. When they announced Jodie, I was like, okay, this could work. I'm interested. I thought it'd be okay. This is the absolute worst case scenario I could possibly imagine. And I was so on board for it. So I think Moffat and Nick Briggs, they're all in the same situation. They're like, these stupid istophobes, silly fans. And then they saw what he did, and it was like, oh, wait, what?
And Rabbi, this also proves as well the success of this hashtag in a relatively short period of time. I know this is extenuating circumstances. This week, it isn't your average week in global events, but even so, the amount of people who've landed on this just goes to show that really it is the fans. We do own Doctor Who. Without the fans, there is no Doctor Who, and the thing can't continue. It can only stagger on for so long, getting more and more dilapidated and knackered and unloved. It can only stay car crash TV for so long, because that's another thing. The viewing figures in this country would be probably 1 million less if there wasn't so many people watching it, because it's car crash TV. How bad can it get? How woke can it get? How much can this show make me cringe? If those people stop watching, the figure would be a lot less. We're seeing that with BBC America. BBC America's declined. Rabbi, you've got all those figures. That decline is even steeper. It's because in America, from what I can understand, there isn't that percentage of the viewers who are watching it with that sort of car crash mentality of because. But they're
never going to turn the Doctor into a man. The BBC, they never. Otherwise, that means they admit defeat. So they're never going to do it.
I think they are. I think this is going to this whole situation. They're going to run off a cliff. They are. I just don't see it being viable.
The thing is, though, I feel so sorry for the next person that becomes the Doctor, because he's going to have to get into Jodie's clothes. If it's a guy, It's going to be hilarious.
That's very true. Those trousers that she wears, they'd go very sort of Luferino in the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, that'd be good. That actually, I can't wait to see that TARDIS console room burst into flame.
Oh God, yes!
Yes, bring it on. Make it happen, everybody.
Have you not noticed there's no doors? There's no doors on that TARDIS, because in the others, you had doors to go to their quarters, but there's no doors. It's just like this big round thing.
Because nothing's real. Nothing's played for in reality. It's all a silly children's show, and who cares? That is the attitude running through the entirety of the
and unless there is a fundamental change at the top of the BBC, this show's broken. You can't fix this. I've seen this on a smaller scale with a lot of other things. But the downward trend it's there in front of everybody. It's undeniable. Nobody can spin it anymore. This was supposed to be, I'll say it again, this episode should have been watched by the most people of any Doctor Who episode ever. They answered all the questions that we never really wanted the answers to, but we would have been curious about it. People weren't even curious. They knew it was coming and they dipped out. And it met everybody's expectations on that.
Yeah, it felt. You know how it felt. It felt by me. It felt like the moment. The moment that Superman versus Batman had finished. After I'd finished seeing that, I was my heart was sunk and I was gutted how bad it was. That's how I felt when they showed the first time of the Timeless Child, and then the Doctor was a little black girl. That's how I felt. I felt crushed.
Yeah, no, this was worse than anything. This was worse than Last Jedi for me, because it took me about 2 or 3 days to realize how much how bad it was. Like I came back from seeing it, and people were like, "Oh," because they knew I'm a massive geek. People were like, "How was it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think it was good, but I didn't what?" You know, my brain was like reeling, like, "What the heck?" It took like 2 or 3 days. Oh no, it took like Phantom Menace. Took me about 2 or 3 months before I could come to terms. So but it really did. I was like, "What?" But this one, because we are so like made used to our franchises just being terrible at the same time, spitting in our faces. Now there was no lag time. I was like, "This is the worst thing ever."
But it's not only that; it's so badly written. That whole episode. If it, there's no redeeming value in that episode at all. You know, it's just absolute shit. Oh, sorry.
Okay, we've already been demonetized.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
It's actually this is something we should work out. What is the worst point of all the Timeless Children? There's so many bad things in it. I mean,
the worst point is the Timeless Child is you. You are the Timeless Child. That's when Doctor Who officially died. That's the worst point.
And then, peeing all over the corpse when she wipes out the Matrix with her brain, with her memories.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, when Barristan Selmy comes in and sacrifices himself for the Doctor. And I talked about this last night. That I think that character was supposed to be a doctor at one point, and they decided to change it because that was a very subtle symbolism there of stepping aside. Yes, stepping aside.
Yeah.
Step aside, Grandad. Your time's up.
And you know what made that worse? I mean, the fact that she was being a complete coward. But what made it worse was that she had like a whole scene of like a few minutes of her just getting all this incredible. Positive reinforcement from the fam. Say, "Oh, Doctor, you're the best. You're so," and she just stood there and took it. Like, yes, you're right. I am the best. I'm the best as ever. And then she went out and then she ran screaming.
And she actually says, "I'm better than you" at some point in the episode too.
Well, if everybody here's seen As Heels versus Babyface's video, where he compared. David Tennant sacrificing himself to Jodie Whittaker running. Yes. That says it all right there.
Brilliant video.
Yep.
We need more of those videos though, and we need more. You know what I've noticed? See the media that obviously they cater to these Twitter shills, the ones that say that this fits perfectly into canon, and then you get all these stupid, ridiculous articles. Well, I think. Like Ballstrek, you did a great video, but if we got more of those type of videos to kind of break apart their argument, I think this would go down very well with the fandom and the public.
Oh, you could do a multi-part video series just breaking apart the Timeless Children. And you'd need an encyclopedia to go through all the canon violations throughout all of Doctor Who. And a series of encyclopedias if you include Big Finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be worked down because then these guys would have nowhere to hide. Then they can't hide behind. You know what I mean? You've exposed their arguments. I mean, their arguments don't even hold up weight. The problem is when you've got these media actually backing them up and willing to put their articles up, it doesn't help. So
there's one media outlet. It's just Hugh Fullerton at the Radio Times.
Hugh. I saw him the other day.
I just read that we came out on yesterday when it's like talking about what the fans are looking forward to in season 13. We asked to select fans. Really? I bet that's select.
Sea Devils were mentioned. Rose, River Song, Captain Jack. This article was just full of bullshit.
Don't bring back Captain Jack. Do not bring back Captain Jack. Please don't bring him back. That's all I can say. Don't bring back River Song either. Please don't bring her back. Come on.
She's safe. She's safe. We're going to see Captain Jack is going to be completely ruined by the.
She's already Big Finish ruined her.
Oh yeah, it's her Big Finish range. My God, I got through I think half of the first story and I'm out.
What are we talking about? River Song?
Yeah, River Song. Yeah, they have a Big Finish range, and I call it Misandry on Display. It is nasty.
I haven't heard those.
Well, I've got a couple videos that I've got coming out. No, I'm going to stay on top of it. I'm not letting it go. I've got a couple things I'm dealing with, and it takes me a couple of days to make each video, so they might not be on time, but they'll be out. I promise.
Yeah, I have to do that What Culture article or What Culture video this week.
Moffat, on our side. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, come on. That's my first video I make tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Moffat is a start. But if more are coming out, then the tide can turn. But see, again, Gary is right. These people are going to be very careful about the way to do it because, they know where their money is coming from. The BBC employ these people, so they're going to be careful. But I would love someone else to come out, and then it would get
somebody prominent that stands by it, that doesn't back down.
Exactly.
And just says, I don't care what the blue check mark said.
Wasn't that Peter Davison, though?
He tried.
Peter Davison, and he was chased off Twitter.
It's all timing. The more chinks there are in the armor right now, it's good. Like this thing by Moffat is a big deal. And it's like it's a chink in the armor. Every chink is, and one day it's going to go. And it's not going to take much more.
If you notice, Anika Wills, she never backed down. She said from day one that she didn't believe in any of this, and she wished the series well, wished all the fans whatever they felt well. But she made her position clear and sort of stood to the side. This is a woman who's pushing 80. They still came after her.
Yep. And Peter Davison, it's funny how the climate has changed because I've been in this fight pretty much since day one. But it's funny to see how the tide has turned. When the announcement was made, some of us could see through what was happening, although it seemed to be a minority of us at the time. And I'm almost tempted to post some of my older videos from 2017 where I'm like, well, everything I predicted as worst case scenario, well, it's actually worse.
Yes. Ken, who thought it would be this bad?
I not in my wildest dreams.
No.
Even at the beginning of the series, when we were talking about it on streams, as
Gary
the series aired,
Gary called it. Gary called it.
Yeah, Gary, and you were right. It's Nerdstradamus, man.
Okay, fine. Comparing the Timeless Children to Snowflake and Safe Space, the new amazing characters that are stunning and brave.
Well, we have example now of fandom rejecting this crap. Doctor Who has been completely rejected. Look at the ratio for Snowflake and Safe Space and what went under the rug. I even did a video and I haven't put it on my channel. I might not, Westworld went completely woke in season 2, and their season 3 opener lost 57% of its audience.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they didn't even get 1 million people watching it. And this was like one of the most expensive shows on HBO, and nobody cares anymore because we're done. People are just done with this stuff, except for
R.I.P. Marvel, R.I.P. HBO, R.I.P. BBC as soon as you lose your fee. Yep.
Well, let me ask everyone a question. When did you realize this kind of agenda was going through your shows? I can literally tell you when. I didn't know, but when I look back, that's for me, that's when it started. Is Supergirl, when Flash was in Supergirl, the very first crossover, the CW, and Flash at the ending he got knocked out, and he didn't even save Supergirl, and Supergirl had to beat the bad guys all on her own, and then Flash wakes up after he's knocked out, and then he joins her. Because I always thought that was odd, but then looking back now, I'm thinking I know why that was there, because that was like the very start of the CW trying to put this agenda in. Right. So when was it the first time when you look back at some of the stuff, when do you think it was the first time for you?
The alarm bells for me really started to ring, and I know that people like her. I like Michelle Gomez herself, but when the alarm bells started to ring for me, I'm afraid it was when Missy was revealed to be a female incarnation of the Master. And I think she did a fantastic job in that part. But yeah, as soon as that happened, I could hear the clock starting to count down. I knew that a female, and that's when I started to notice it. Excuse me. That's when I started to notice it everywhere else.
Yeah, it's 2000. The first alarm bells were obviously when Ghostbusters was announced in 2015. So more than a year, about a year and a half before the movie actually premiered. Those were the alarm bells. In terms of TV, 2017 was when everything went to hell. Actually, no. In terms of Doctor Who, that was also 2015 because that was Series 9. And if you go back to even Series 8, I like Missy. I thought it was a good reveal, but we now know that there was an agenda behind it. And that was also the series that has the "I'll slap you into your next regeneration" line.
Oh, yeah. Hated that.
Yeah.
Hated that line.
What about you, Gary?
For Doctor Who, I was in denial about it until the Master said, "Is the future all girl?" And Capaldi says, "I hope so." That's when I realized it in Doctor Who. In entertainment, you got to go back 10 years. And I started seeing it in comic books, and it started creeping in 2004, 2005. My friend Derek did a Wolverine comic with Greg Rucka, and Wolverine complained about gun sales in America. There was another, Wolverine. He's killed more people than Conan. Is worried about gun sales in America. And then another Greg Rucka issue of Wonder Woman, where she is chastising the Flash for putting out a forest fire with his Flash powers, and she says, "Well, forest fires are natural things, Flash, and you shouldn't be putting these things out." And it's like little shit like that I saw creeping into our comic books more and more, and they are the proving ground. And then, all new, all different. Marvel came out. Captain America was a Nazi, or at least, he was Hydra member. And remember, it was the whole time. He had been a sleeper agent since day one. So they made Captain America a Nazi. That's when things really started going bad in comics. And then, of course, in entertainment, it was 2017, 16, 17.
Yep.
Westworld is the best example. Critical Drinker did a video on Westworld season 2 that explains it perfectly. Westworld season 1 was a normal TV show with women written with complexity and vulnerability, and you cared about them. Westworld season 2 was man bad, white man bad in particular. And they came out and said it. They said this is, and it's all because of the Time's Up era that started in Hollywood. And it sounds like a vast conspiracy, and I'm sorry if it does, but this all connects to J.J. Abrams and J.J. Abrams' wife, and it's been, and actually the BBC's been creeping that way too, but it's been going on for quite some time. And there's a difference between subverting tropes, which like George R. Martin does in the Game of Thrones, where you put it in your narrative, but you actually make complex characters, and then there's woke, like Supergirl, everything on the CW. Watchmen was, god damn, that was such a
that's terrible.
Still haven't watched an episode. I've watched your videos, and I'm not touching it.
What about you, Rabbi?
Okay, the first time I remember being firstly, I have to say, Gary, your channel literally saved, well, I would not literally, figuratively saved my life because like I was so apoplectic at season 11 of Doctor Who. I was on the fence even at the Rattlings in the UK, and then it was a week after when you had the space like thing eating the ship. I just realized this is going to be awful. And then when I started talking about it on social media, I was that's it. You're a Nazi. You're an Islamophobe. You're all these like. So I was trying to find a fandom that anybody talked about, and that's how I came to the fandom mess.
And let's point out they were calling you a Yahtzee.
Yes,
they were
exactly.
calling you a Yahtzee.
Yes, yes. And and that's how I found your channel, and thank God I did because I was going great. I was like, is it just me? Because
I thank God I found you guys. Okay, because I thought and Bull's Trek. And because I felt like I was in the minority on that one, and maybe I was at the time, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's just me. And I was perfectly ready to be wrong, going, maybe I'm wrong about this female doctor, and this will be a good, well-written show. And we turned out to be right. And now the vocal minority is the Jody bots at this point.
It was Bostrek for me. I was just confused of what was going on. I was trying to look. I looked up everything on Google to find reviews on Doctor Who, and everybody's saying it was brilliant. And I was like, no, it can't.
I did like, what's going on?
Exactly. And then I came across Bostrek's channel, and I almost shitting myself laughing so much. And then I discovered everybody else, from Gary to Drinker to everybody else, and that was my journey into this.
Bull's Trek video and Dave Cullen's video were therapy. Absolute therapy.
Well, Dave Cullen was the first. He was calling this out in 2015, so 2 years before even I started doing it. Yeah. But it's 2017 to be questioning this. It was a miserable time. Just look at my comments on any video from back then. It was that's when I pretty much stopped reading comments beyond like the first 30 minutes or so of a video, but it was nasty. But it's funny watching how it switched. And I know for Gary and I, it switched the same week, probably the same day, which was when Arachnids in the UK had aired. That's when everything suddenly flipped on its head. Some people could see what was going on with Rosa, but as soon as that episode aired, the whole tone changed.
Yeah.
Can I answer somebody in the chat real quick? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
So
actually,
Horizon Chaser asks, "What do you mean by Yahtzee?" That is the YouTube term for the bad guys from Germany. We can't really say it. Yeah.
No, we've already.
Or isn't it that game from MB?
Yes, it's also a game. But so when you're on YouTube, we have to find different words. I mean, like we can actually drop F-bombs, and that's probably not what's demonetizing Bull's Trek's live stream right now. It's probably the subject matter of somebody actually accidentally saying the bad guys from Germany. It's words like that. We can't say the thing that shall not be named that's going on right now. I can't the kind of person who self-partners that rhymes with prison cell, you can't say. There's certain words that automatically flag your videos and get you in trouble. So it's YouTube speak. It's going to become its own language.
We tested that this morning during the first stream, because we said some words we shouldn't have, and that stream, as far as I can tell, was shut down. Probably catch up with some super chats, and we'll probably do the super chats, and do a final round so everybody can give their final thoughts. I guess both streams combined is a little over 2 hours, so I don't want to hold everybody too long. And of course, thank you to everybody who came today, everybody who's hanging out in the chat, all of us that we can't really do anything else right now, and you are all awesome. Give yourselves a hand clap.
Thank you. And everybody in the chat's awesome, and thanks for being here. I hope everybody's doing okay.
It's we are just here as a distraction, but entertainment, it's fun watching it implode, but it's not the most important thing right now. So from let's see, Smith, we did those from Leaf Eric for $5 US. Trailblazer, hardly know her. Actually, no, she's not the Hamburglar. She's now Grimace. So Grimace. From my friend Chris Persia, and thank you to Chris. And everybody else who's been moderating our chat as well. So fellow Canadian Chris Persia for $6.99 Canadian dollars. Keep up the good work, Bulls Trek. For all of us here in the cold white north, as the voice of reason. Yes, it is very cold and miserable up here, and everything has no toilet paper. It's fun. From Salad Cream Boy, 1984, for £5 British. I just took part in a docu-series on Channel 5 in the UK, and I kid you but probably says not, I had to sign a diversity contract. Oh no, I'm not surprised. That is everywhere now. And especially in the UK and Canada. From Bell's Nickel for $10 US. Is anyone old enough to remember the old Space Angel cartoon on XL5? Better than Shib crap.
Isn't everything?
Oh yeah, it's this god awful sparkling cranberry bubble water that tastes like watered down vomit that's been carbonated is better than Chibs. I'm never buying this again. But yeah, no, I don't know. Has anybody heard of Angel Carton?
Nope.
No. Okay, but it's better than Chibs, so we'll check it out.
Yeah.
Chips.
We have two from Smith, both for £2 British. Jody is not nasty.
Yes, she is.
Smith, I judge people based on what they say and what they do. She's made it clear that she doesn't care about the show. She doesn't care about the fans. And classic Doctor Who celebrated the white male gaze. From Smith again, I rewatched The Timeless Children and loved it. You know what? If you liked it, that's
good for you.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's we're not the other side. We don't try and tell people what they should and shouldn't like. So if you liked it, I wish we could have liked it, but that's cool.
I
watched a couple of
the only question I would have is I'd question your taste, but other than that, if you like rubbish, fine.
Yeah, no, it's to each his own. So like I said, I love terrible B horror movies. So I watch Woke Batman, and it's my Plan 9 from outer space. So let's see.
Big fan of Prisoner Cell Block H here, so I can't really throw it.
From Thomas Backman for $5 US. Okay, so a question for all. After James Bond, which franchise do you think the Rainbow Hate Train will trigger next?
Is there any left?
Or will target next? Babylon 5.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
yeah.
God, he's right.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, no.
It's so that will be just stay tuned to our channels. Those are coming.
Maybe the next Thor? The next Thor? The next Thor movie.
I think they've got.
Oh God!
They've gotten a Thor already.
Okay.
Yeah, they got to the MCU with Captain Nasty. It's the two movies that follow.
Wait till the Eternals comes out. Yeah, just look forward.
Oh.
R.I.P. MCU. From Privacy Seeker, no message, but for $25 US. If it got deleted, Privacy Seeker, just drop it in the regular chat, and I'll make sure I cover it. From Father Christopher Miller for $2 US. We have a rabbi and a priest now. We need a minister. Okay, so we've got a United Church of Canada. We need a minister, so somebody come out. We need to have everything covered. We are all inclusive.
We got a
here.
priest. I don't know if he's in the chat. We got Father Christopher Miller.
Yeah,
he's out there.
He's the one who gets super chat, right?
Yeah. No,
he's out there.
Oh, no, we need a minister.
Oh, a minister.
What's the difference between a priest and a minister? I don't know.
Priest is, I think, primarily Catholic Church. Minister is, in Canada, we have what's called the United Church of Canada, which is most of the, Anglican, any of the non-Catholic religions. So if we have somebody from the United Church of Canada, they're ministers. So
I signed up about 10 years ago to that United World Church or whatever, so I can perform weddings here in California.
Wait, Gary, you are a minister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
I have my certificate and everything.
Okay, so actually we have a minister. We have Reverend Neurotic.
Yes.
We're covered. I can do divorces. I can't do weddings.
Oh, I've had a divorce.
I was on the rabbinical divorce court when I lived in Miami. That's one
weird.
of my favorite jobs, actually.
Really?
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, you sit down and go, okay, she gets half. See you later.
No, we don't do any of that. It's this is just the religious divorce. You have to get this religious divorce if you want to get remarried again. Everybody came, and we're on the south. We're in Miami, so everybody from South America.
If they ever did a remake of The Jazz Singer with Neil Diamond, you should play the father, mate.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I've got an interesting question here from Thomas Backman for all of us. For $6 US.
Right.
So last one for all, most underrated classic Doctor Who story. His personal pick is Revelation of the Daleks, great Colin Baker story, and had a great dark story. That's a good choice, Thomas, because it was a tone and a type of story that the show had never done before, and it gave us an idea of where it probably would have gone had it not been axed temporarily right after that episode. But yeah, we'll go around the panel. So classic Who. I'll give mine first. Mine would be Image of the Fendal. Most people hate it. I love the atmosphere in that story, so it's one of my all-time stories. So Image of the Fendal. Rebecca Gold, what would you say?
I don't know. I can't think of one offhand, but I agree with your one, though.
Okay,
Definitely agree with your one.
Okay, so Ian has picked the Web Planet. Okay, good. Next, Rabbi.
Thanks,
I think it has to be Face of Evil. I think that's one of the greatest stories, and it really doesn't get enough love because I just love the premise of that story on every freaking level. I love the idea of the Doctor coming in and trying to fix something and not realizing what he'd done. I love the idea of a schizophrenic computer. I have splitting up the Tesh and the Sever team. I love Leela. I like everything in. Oh yeah, the guns that shoot his face, the evil one's face. I like the special. I like the effect shot of his face on the mountain. I love that story. Is
that underrated? Story. Do people consider
that's not underrated?
It's not underrated. Oh, okay. What's underrated?
It's a good story, but
let me think of an underrated one.
No, it's fine. I just
story.
Okay, if you want to go underrated, how about Mindful?
I don't consider any of them underrated.
No.
Exactly. It's so hard.
One.
When I heard the question, I'm like, well, they're all fantastic. What do you do?
The giant robot. I just thought of one. The giant robot one.
Robot.
Tom Baker. The first Tom Baker one.
Yeah, that's not underrated either.
Isn't it not? I thought it was. I thought people hated it.
I think maybe the Android
Pyramids of Mars is a bit underrated, I think. So I would say Pyramids of Mars. It's a personal favorite of mine, but it is underrated by a lot of people, I think. So it is very. Oh no, but this is the thing. It's going to be very hard to pick an underrated Doctor Who episode.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Although actually, I heard Rabbi say the Android Invasion. I love that story, so I would agree with that as well.
What's bad for one person is good for another.
Another person. That's what I mean. That's why classic.
Well, a question: does anybody like Delta and the Bannerman? Because that, okay. See, until series 10 or until series 11, that was my least favorite story. But there's always going to be somebody that likes it.
I thought Paradise Towers was worse than Delta and Bannerman.
Oh, it's way worse. Don't get me wrong, Delta and the Bannerman isn't very good, but I still love it.
Exactly.
I like Ken Dodd in it, and I do. There's a lot. If they redid the effect shot with the bus and the TARDIS, that'll probably make it. You know what would make Paradise Towers really good? Somebody said this in a documentary, either on the Big Finish extras or the season 26. If Paradise Towers was shot on location in a derelict tower block, and they recast Hex and the chief, not the chief architect, and the chief caretaker. They changed those two cards. You would have a really stonking great story.
Well, that was influenced by High Rise, wasn't it? The J.G. Ballard.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking.
Supposed to be. Yeah. I mean, they all start out with the best of intentions, don't they? Delta and the Bannerman was a complete dog stinny. That was neither one thing nor the other. But
it was McCoy.
Not the TARDIS Children. That did not start off with the best of intentions. That started off with the worst of intentions.
No, not that. Yeah. Not that one.
It was McCoy though. McCoy ones are really terrible in my opinion.
I don't know. Season 26 is just pure
Remembrance of
classic.
the Daleks would be my pick. I know a lot of people come in my chat and hate the fact, don't like Ace and all. I freaking love it.
Oh,
So.
Oh yeah, I love Ace. I think
I remember like being excited all day when it was going to come on. I was like waiting all day for that, and it just exceeded my expectations in every way.
Really?
I was so excited. Well, Remembrance of the Daleks was fantastic.
Yeah. I love McCoy. I thought he was great.
I think he's terrible. He's one of the worst doctors, in my opinion. I know everybody's going to hate me for saying that.
Oh my god! I'm like,
I don't like his rolling his R's and being, I don't know. He just he so annoys
He's a
me.
vaudevillian doctor. Come on.
Oh, come on.
If I was to throw an underrated one in there, it's I always have to go for Snake Dance, the Peter Davison story.
That's not underrated. That's a pure classic.
No, I think that one gets talked down a lot in favor of Kinder. Kinder gets all the attention because it's so much deeper, because all the imagery is so much. It's either more ridiculous or more beautiful, depending on which side of the aisle you come from. I think people tend to forget a lot about Snake Dance. I think it's a focused nice story.
The Six Faces of Affliction makes that a fantastic story in itself.
The whole
that
thing,
is just fantastic.
The way the doctor is going throughout the entire thing, the doctor is he's like the prisoner. He's like Patrick McGowan in The Prisoner. He's continually going from place to place to place, trying to make sense of what's going on, telling people what is going on in front of their eyes. Nobody believes him. It's tragic to watch. I think it's Peter Davison up until Caves. It's his finest performance. It's a great story.
No, it's a fantastic story. Absolutely.
I just remember Kinda scaring the living crap out of me when I was a kid.
Same here.
Really?
It gave me that was 1982, so I would have been 4 or 5 when it first aired. So yeah, honestly, those dream sequences are terrifying if you're 5.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That makes me older than you, Bostrek. Then
Really?
yeah, really.
I like being young, so that is awesome. I'm like always
You
the
know,
oldest.
I'm so old now. I don't miss being young.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, like,
Right
kind of
there
happy
with
in
you,
my
buddy.
big head into 50. That's fine.
Being young was dumb. People were telling you what to
Yes,
do all the time. I can do what I want. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
The one that scared me, and I can't remember what it was called, was one where the little doll wakes up and at the back of the car.
Oh, that was a Pertwee story.
Yeah.
Terror of the Alton.
That's how old I am, Bostrek.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
Oh
wow.
God, yeah. They got in
1971.
trouble for that too. Big
Yeah.
trouble.
Balls, let me ask
They
you,
did?
with Kinder, do you prefer the updated special effects or the original?
I don't watch updated special effects.
Yeah,
I only go with the
I
original.
really like the updated special effects on it because it's like for me.
I might watch that though.
They are good. They are brilliant. The new special effects on that.
Because they put them in kind of seamlessly, and I find the original special effects, again, Ark in Space is the same, to be distracting. Whereas and it takes you out of the drama. But the updated effects, it doesn't. That's why I prefer them.
What do you think of the colorized version of the William Hartnell? They've done a
No,
colorized version.
that much I hate. I got the faceless ones arriving at some point. I never watched the color version. Even the cartoon, I only watched the black and white version.
Are we talking about the Day of Armageddon that was just premiered at Gallifrey 1?
Yeah.
Well, this is where I get the plug-in. Sorry, Bolstrek.
Yeah.
I interviewed somebody off the team, Dr. Hugh, that put that together last week. So if you watch my podcast, watch the feed from the Fandom Podcast Network for Type 40, there's myself and Simon interviewing the Dr. Hugh team in about 3 weeks' time.
Oh,
Awesome.
Wow. Cool.
There we
Good
go.
plug. Good plug.
It's not my first barbecue, mate.
Pass the sauce.
Exactly.
Oh, let's see. So going forward, I missed one here from Brown Gajan for $2. Dear BBC, no taxation without representation. Agreed.
Damn straight.
Yeah. The British didn't really get that memo.
The license fee is un-American. I've always said that.
And we have the same thing in Canada. We have the CBC, which is paid for by our taxes. But here's what's funny. So we pay for it by our taxes, but if you want to actually watch their streaming service, which is called Gem or some crap like that, you have to pay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we
Really?
get to,
It's terrible.
we get to pay twice for the CBC programming that absolutely nobody watches. Let's see, okay, so we did underrated stories from Matt G for $149 US. I got another super sticker, and I got another unicorn. He's very cute. Oh, who's this person here? Rebecca Gold.
Who's that?
Who's Rebecca Gold?
No idea.
Have a coffee on me, Bulls Trek mate. Thanks for having me on. Well, man, you're welcome to come here anytime. The three of you that are on here for the first time, I don't even know why I didn't have you on before. It's mainly because I do a lot of live streams on other channels, like tons, but I hardly ever do them on my channel. So I'm trying to. Then there's so many people that I want to have on. I'm trying to rotate people in. But Ian, thank you very much, my friend. And I will get a coffee. And Tim Hortons drive-through is still open, but the restaurant is closed.
Open. Yeah.
So the building is locked up, but you can still get drive-through coffee. So I might do that after this. And from Privacy Seekers, so second super chat, this time for $10. One more thing. I think if you notice, the TV show Charmed from 1998 to 2005 was indeed woke. I have heard of that Privacy Seeker, although to be honest, I've never watched an episode of Charmed. I don't know. Anybody on the panel, has anybody actually watched?
I watched the original show for years.
The original, yeah. It's okay.
Three very good, 4 very good reasons why I watched that show. No, that was...
Shannon Doherty was on it, and then she quit, and Alyssa Milano was on it. That's about all I know, and they were witches.
Yeah,
that's right.
Rose McGowan was on it, wasn't she? Rose.
I watched it because I'm a huge fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's my second favourite show after Doctor Who. And I couldn't get enough Buffy. Aaron Spelling, as he always does, comes up with a knockoff version. It was Buffy meets Charlie's Angels. It was good enough for me. There was lots of nice things to look at.
Say Buffy, Dan.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Sorry, mate.
Say Buffy.
Buffy.
This is how Dan says Buffy.
Buffy.
Buffet. No, but speaking of
don't
Buffy,
take the piss, or I'll send the Peaky Blinders round.
I think the one thing that's really depressing about Buffy is we'll never see a show like that again. Exactly. And I've said this before, there actually was an opportunity with the recent Netflix show, which had they decided to not go woke and given us good scripts, then we could potentially have had another Buffy, which was The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I think it was well acted. It was well shot. Great soundtrack. But they went woke, and they lost me within the first 5 minutes of the first episode. I suffered through a season and a half of that show, hoping that it would improve, and it just got worse. So if we got Buffy in 2020, it would be The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. A great opportunity, absolutely wasted.
What do you guys think of them changing the character? I can't remember the character's name in The Boys to a woman. The second season. I can't remember, what's the character's name?
Stormfront. So there's two schools of thought on that. First off, it's terrible woke time's up move, or because they're making her, I don't know how much they're changing her origin, but it's supposed to be a Yahtzee origin, that she's going to be a Yahtzee feminist. So she might be a femme Yahtzee, and then they kind of lean into it, and that would be kind of funny. So I think it's kind of a wait and see, but most likely it's just a woke move and terrible. And that sucks.
I don't know. Like for me, that first season built up really not credibility, but like I would totally give them a chance.
Yeah,
like they got the benefit of the doubt. That first season really nailed it for me.
Yeah, I agree totally. Has anybody seen I'm Not Okay With This?
Yeah,
I heard it was good, but
it is good. It's only like 7 episodes, but it's really good. I recommend it, guys.
You know what's really good if you're looking for something to watch? Really weird, Maniac. With the one with
I liked Maniac. Yeah, I watched Maniac.
Really good.
Which
Kerry Fukunawa's show, was that, Rabbi?
Yep.
The guy who directed, which service is that on?
True Detective season 1.
Ah, okay.
And he's directing James Bond. No Time to Woke.
Guys, which streaming service is that on? Maniac.
Netflix.
Oh, okay. Netflix.
I've forgotten all about that. I'm gonna write that down and jump on it.
It's weird.
Did you hear I have it in my list.
Did you hear that Netflix is downgrading their picture to 25% because there's too many people streaming?
Yeah.
Are you caught on that in Europe, in England?
Yeah, Ireland. Cheryl, we were watching something and Netflix went, it goes all crazy, and they actually changed the resolution. Mega Geek is right; they've actually done that.
Yeah.
We're still getting it in 4K.
Yeah.
Well, la-di-da.
Yeah, I'm special. I got 4K. I'll get the 8K.
No, but you know the reason they downgraded it?
Word in.
It was
too many people. Too many people.
No, but it was a request from the EU. It wasn't Netflix. EU requested them to downgrade it.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to crash the internet.
Now you know why we voted for Brexit, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And you're still bloody caught in it.
Always doing this stuff.
I think we Irish will join you. We need to get out of the EU, man.
Yeah, it's fucking bad, mate.
You can censored. You go to YouTube, it's censored. All the conspiracy theory channels that I used to watch. When I used to Google conspiracy theories, all their channels will come up. All the approved channels that YouTube approve, all the government agency ones are all the ones that come up to dispute all these conspiracy theories. You actually have to type in the name of the YouTube channel if you remember.
YouTube suppressed our live stream. The one Doomcock and I do. Yeah. They ghosted it. So if you were subscribed to us, you could see that we were live on the left on that little subscription bar.
Yeah.
But if you went to your actual feed, our live stream was not showing up.
Wow.
Yeah, I noticed that when you're
ghosted.
Yeah.
The Exos are actually ghosted.
Yeah, I actually noticed that too, because the review or the views for Exozone were like 1/10 of what they normally would have been for one of your streams.
Yep.
Well, I don't want to give you guys too much powers, do they?
Well.
Is yours is yours views down? I wanted to ask all you. Are you all experiencing the same thing? Because I've seen a lot of YouTubers saying that their views are all down. Are your views down? Mine are down by over half. I'm not ashamed to say. I'll say it. Must be going through either a rough patch or whatever. But I'm down over half.
It's notifications and recommendations aren't going out. I'm down slightly below 50% on average from where I should be.
Wow.
Yeah, I had one video with no notifications go out, and I got half the views I normally get. But then the next video did okay, but it's hard to tell. I mean, what should have done really okay? I don't know. But I talked to other YouTubers, and they're experiencing the same thing. So you're not alone.
So has it got to do with this thing that's happening around the world, and it's just you don't have the staff right now?
Yeah. Because there's humans at YouTube curating everything, and the biggest problem we have is we have enemies who flag our videos, and they needlessly flag them, and there is a human being there to check that out. When it gets flagged, they go, yeah, this guy's full of it. He's obviously
what's the best thing about your channel is that you've got your website, because sometimes when I'm going to work, I go to your website and listen to it like a podcast.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Yes.
You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily have to go to YouTube. I can just go to your thing. So,
and I would recommend that. It's pretty cheap. It's like a couple $100 a year, and it's WordPress. It's not the best, but you can also feed. You can turn your live streams into just podcasts. You can just extract the audio and run it through iTunes, and then iTunes will mirror everywhere else.
Yeah,
and it's a good backup if just in case YouTube goes down. So.
I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, guys, maybe you should
if I start live streaming, well, as you can see, I'm cheap as hell. I'm still using free StreamYard, hence the little our little bird buddy, the penguin or whatever, the bird in the corner. But yeah, it's if I do more of them, I might look into that. It depends. I have a lot of videos that I've removed from my channel that I'm thinking of putting the audio back up from years ago, so I might do that as well.
The only thing I could say about Gary's listening to as a podcast, sometimes it's really long, and when I get to work, it's still going, so I'll have to switch it off, and then when I'm going back home, listen to the rest of it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. But apart from that, it's great.
The live streams will be getting long.
My only regret with YouTubing more is I don't have enough time to listen to YouTubers like these long streams, because I know if I'm doing my straight work, I put on something on YouTube or something like that to listen to as I'm working. Now I'm doing more YouTube, so I don't have time to do it. So I'm
here's the thing. We're all gonna have plenty of time, so we'll have plenty of time to catch up. I've caught up on a few. I actually watched every single YouTuber's video on the new what you call them again? We started at the start trail of
the new SJW.
That was one of my favorite videos.
Because it was just so fun.
Shall we? Sorry, mate. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go on.
No, shall we have the hashtag Moffat is on our side?
Yeah.
We should have that, right?
The
Moffat Menace or the Phantom Moffat.
Moffat Menace. That's good.
Moffat Menace.
I would love it.
I'm so happy that he's on our side.
Partner shot first. Moffat Menace.
Calling us.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I don't know with Moffat, that's the thing. But I'd say deep down, he doesn't like what he's saying right now.
Mortified.
If you love Doctor Who, it's hard to love what's going on with it.
When he's watching his work being destroyed, and especially RTD as well. I'm actually very surprised RTD must have great.
Well, he's the one that rebuilt the show from nothing.
Yeah, but he's very good at not saying the right thing.
Yeah,
I remember that when Rose came on the first time, they had a documentary about Doctor Who to get people into it, and it was a big thing. But he went through every era, and he only spoke complimentarily about everybody.
Yes,
and there was some dodgy, and I've never heard him speak derogatorily about anybody. I think ever. I can't think of it. Not an official statement, not anything that people would know him saying.
Mm.
Yeah, he refuses to go down that road. It's professional etiquette.
Yeah,
he's just a nice guy. It's all those things and everything in between. Life's too short. It's just not. It's just not how the man conducts himself. Yeah, it's not him.
And he's got a Dalek in his corridor.
And he's got a life-size Dalek in his head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and a
weeping
anti-chipmunk garden as well, was it? Or was that just a statue? Did he have a weeping angel as well, actually, out his back garden?
Stephen Moffat has, but
he must have. You can buy them. I know.
Stephen Moffat actually does have one. Yeah, I think Russell T Davies is that conscientious about his work. He takes it all. He's very serious about the content of his work and about the friendships and the working relationships that he builds. That's why he casts people over and over and over again. And professional integrity means a lot to him. He never forgets where he came from. I don't like everything he's ever written and put out there. I don't like everything he's ever said, but I do respect the man enormously. Yeah. And I'm very, very grateful to him. And I'll always have my loyalty as a viewer.
Well, if it wasn't for The First Coming, the film that he wrote for Chris Eccleston, he wouldn't have cast Chris Eccleston as
probably not.
The Doctor.
Yeah, probably not. You're right.
Yeah.
But that's exactly why I watched Casanova, because I knew Tennant was a front runner to the Doctor.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. But
we have a request.
Go on in.
Oh, well, we have a request for Rabbi.
Oh,
so from Problem Being for $1.99 Great Britain pounds, Rabbi, charm Gary and Bolstrek into reviewing Blake 7.
Oh my God, it's so good! It's so freaking good. That takes zero charm. It's a fantastic show, written by Terry Nation. At the top of his game, it's okay. The special effects are terrible, but who cares? We like.
I don't care. That never bothered me.
There are 13 episodes.
It's on YouTube.
You can binge them, and then you can. And then I know you guys are down on Big Finish right now. Their Big Finish Blake 7 range is freaking fantastic. Yeah, it's totally worth it. The worst thing about Blake 7 is it gets better as it goes along. So you start off with the weakest Blake 7, and but it's so good. And you do not get an actor like Paul Darrow. But his characterization of Avon, if they ever did a new version of it, I don't know who they could get to play Avon, because it was such an incredibly strong character. Maybe he was
Shakespearean, wasn't he? Very Shakespearean. Yeah.
I think Colin Salmon would probably come pretty close. But there's very few actors.
I don't know. He's not.
Very few actors.
He's not. You know what I would like? Was it Mads Mikkelsen, the guy who played Hannibal Lecter?
He would be good, yeah.
Yeah. You've got to have that, because they're all genuinely villains, and you've got this weird, and I was watching it when I was a kid, just when puberty was hitting, You know, and there's this weird S&M thing going on between the main villain, Servalan, and Avon.
Yeah, and Avon.
It freaked me the hell out. I know. I was so young. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I really like it. You know, and I want to do a lot of it. I just don't know what it is.
Well, Gary, if you like Doctor Who, you're going to love Blake Seven. Blake Seven's very darker than Doctor Who, though. And I'm not going to give it away, but the ending is to die for.
And you'd say it's got a touch of The Prisoner about it, doesn't it? If either of you have seen the old
show, one of my favorite shows of all time,
and it's free on YouTube as well.
I may check that.
On YouTube.
Oh, I have it. A patron sent it to me, and it's just time.
I know.
But I will watch it. I will.
Another show that's actually in that vein that's worth watching. Has anybody seen the original Survivors?
Oh yeah,
Terry Nation.
Got the box set. Yeah, it's upstairs. More Terry Nation.
I haven't seen it.
The last season is not the best, but the first probably season and a half to 2 seasons are absolutely brilliant.
Well, that's the show, Bolstrek, that most of the people who worked on that then went on to work on Blake Seven. It was Blake Seven filled that slot. So it's David Maloney again. It's Terry Nation.
Yeah.
Some of the same actors turn up in it. It's the same basic structure. You got 13 episode seasons and stuff. So yeah, one took over from the other really.
The thing about Blake Seven.
Yes, I think it's the second season. They have Chris Boucher is the head writer and is the script editor. Right. And Chris Boucher, he did Face of Evil and Robots of Death, and he's just a really solid, great writer. I think that they changed one of the main actors to get actors one of the main characters.
Do you see the difference between British sci-fi and the American sci-fi? Like if you look at Red Dwarf, right? They all love each other, but they all hate each other at the same time. It's the same thing with Blake Seven. They all hate each other, but they all have to work with each other. Don't you see a pattern going through our sci-fis? Apart from the Doctor, of course.
It's a show about a bunch of criminals, really.
Yeah.
Very, very nasty people, the dregs of society in some respects. Yeah. Most of them are immoral. A great many of them are unlikable. But that's the joy of it, I suppose.
But then when you look at the Office, our Office, it's very different to the American Office. And the American Office is very American, and the British Office is about losers, basically. That's basically what it's about.
I agree, yeah.
And then the American Office is not about losers. It's about people that are sad, but they're not losers. Do you know what I mean? So there's a huge difference between the American culture TV shows and then the British TV shows. Very, very, very. There's a huge gap.
It's more frustration in the American version. Yes. The UK one is about despair, simple despair.
Yeah. And Rimmer in Red Dwarf, he's a complete loser. There's no redeeming feature about him at all.
Not long tonight. I watched Quarantine tonight.
Quarantine's brilliant.
One of the best episodes.
Yeah. One of the best episodes. Gary, if you haven't seen Red Dwarf, you should watch Red Dwarf.
You would love Red Dwarf.
Yeah, I've got season 1. Somebody sent me season 1. So
season 1 isn't so good.
Not the best.
Well, you got to start somewhere. I like starting at the beginning.
I would say you have to watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, you do. That's true. Yeah. It is very true.
A lot of people don't remember this scene where a hologram appeared on Starbug, and he was assessing everybody, slagging them off, and then Lister gets his cigars out and he pretends it's a microphone. And
Lister
I thought it was a genius, absolute genius piece of writing.
The genius bit of that is the end of that clip. He's got a cigarette packet out and he's using it as a communicator. He's about to kick off and get into a fight. He pulls the cigarette out, starts eating it.
He eats it.
He crushes up the packet and throws it away.
Genius,
takes the jacket off and starts a rock.
That's what I mean. When you look at those scenes, because they had very little small sets and very little budget, they had to come up with terrific writing. And that scene is genius. Absolute freaking genius. You've got to see it to understand what I'm talking about. You really do. But
and even though it's a comedy, Mega Geek, that principle, it's exactly the same principle. The economy of the situation and necessity being the mother of invention and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That line follows right the way from Doctor Who, Blake Seven, Survivors, Red Dwarf, pretty much anything that the BBC put out. Somebody's mentioned in the chat. Fantastic show. Adam Adamant Lives from the 1960s, which Verity Lambert made after she did Doctor Who. Wonderful show that Ridley Scott directed a few episodes of. So another prime example. The sets were tiny, but the stories, the scripts were brilliant, and the acting was sensational. And that's why people remember all this stuff like 40, 50 years later.
Yeah.
There's a new Red Dwarf movie airing April 9th, I believe.
It looks quite funny, actually. It looks really funny. And I didn't realize Chris Barry had gone bald, and he's been wearing a wig. I didn't realize that at all.
Oh yeah, I think he went bald when the original run was still on.
Oh really?
Got Walter Koenig style.
Oh yeah. Oh no, the first time I saw Chekhov as bald, my God, when did this happen?
I remember the guy who plays Crichton was saying his kids watched the show for the first time and watched the first season and then watched one of the latest ones, and they said, "Well, Dad, you put on weight, haven't you?" And he got really embarrassed because Crichton has gotten wider in the midriff, doesn't he? Well, in the new series. So you know, that's. I mean, fucking hell, I love Red Dwarf. I think Red Dwarf is a terrific show. Great imagination.
32 years playing the same characters, pretty much. Well, not quite that with Robert Llewellyn, but still 32 years.
Yeah.
Since 1988. Damn, I'm old. We're all old. So, let's see. So next from Sparkus Aurelius for $5 US. Classic Who is the best? How about the underrated Tom Baker, Liz Sladen, Planet of Evil?
Yeah, great story.
Yeah, I like that.
Forbidden Planet done on a micro budget.
Yep. It's and I wouldn't say I don't know if I'd necessarily say if that one's underrated as well, but it's another one of those that has just a great creepy vibe to it. So literally anything from that era. I think Brain of Morbius and Android Invasion are probably the two least regarded from that era, and I love both those stories. So
I know. Every time anybody mentions Brain of Morbius now, I get a headache.
Yeah,
really, just shut up with a stupidity.
We'll just call it the Brain of Canon Destruction going forward.
It's Graham Harper and Philip Hinchcliffe wearing a wig. That's not the Doctor. Shut up, idiot.
And the entire production team. Right. From Eric Just for 50 Danish krona. Where would you place Derek Jacobi's Big Finish Master in comparison to the rest of the Masters in Doctor Who throughout its history? So Derek Jacobi's Master. I have listened. Has anybody else here heard his Big Finish audios?
Yeah.
Yep. No, I haven't heard those ones.
Oh, they're fantastic. I love them.
I've got them.
Really good. He's really good in them.
But he's a really good actor, though.
Yeah.
I mean, way above average. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but they're really creepy because it's really interesting seeing the Master on a mission for the Time Lord, and especially that Master who plays himself as like this cuddly uncle, and then is just pure, unrelenting evil.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. I mean, Derek Jacobi is probably the best actor, generally the best actual actor for track record purposes and versatility that has ever taken that role. Yeah, you know, he's not my favorite Master, but he is a superb actor. So anything he's going to do with that part in any medium is going to be worth paying attention to.
Yeah,
providing the material's good.
He's the most evil. When he's first revealed as the Master, those scenes are absolutely chilling. So I would rank him as by far the most terrifying of any Master we've had. You know, you have other Masters who are unbalanced and crazy, but Derek Jacobi's Master, you could tell, was just pure evil.
I always thought that John Sims would make a good Doctor, but suddenly he was the Master. Because he was really good in Life on Mars. Very vulnerable, very forthright, very, very strong, but very vulnerable, and that's all the traits that the Doctor have. And it was a shame that they made him the Master, though.
Well, no, he was actually, they cast him in that version of the Master. It was meant to be a mirror of David Tennant, so that's why they meshed together so well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. From Sam Whiskey for $9 US. Good news, guys. Snowflame's favorite singer is Eric Clapton.
Yeah,
Snowflame.
Well, it's now Grimace. Actually, no, that's an insult to Grimace. He didn't do anything to deserve that. And I think I am caught up with super chats.
No, you got another, at least another 2, I think.
Oh, no, I got one. From Morgan Gray for $5 US. To all of you here, and hey, Nerdrotic, I hope you and your families are well. Well, thank you very much, Morgan. It's yeah, cheers. And everybody is in the middle of this. We all have families that we're concerned about, and that's our first concern. So for right now,
I know Sophia Miles. She played the girl in the fireplace in Doctor Who. And her dad has just passed because of this virus.
And she was the one that was dating David Tennant. I think, at one point too. Yeah,
David Tennant's girlfriend before.
Georgia Moffat. The kid, that sucks, man.
Yeah,
what happened?
Her dad has just passed because of the virus.
I put it in the private chat a while ago.
Yeah.
So Sophia Miles, the one that played the woman in The Girl in the Fireplace, her dad just passed away.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But from this
Yeah,
from the thing.
I met her a long time ago, a very, very long time ago, and I knew her. We used to hang out for a bit, and obviously she got famous, and then she didn't want to hang out anymore. But she's a really nice person, really, really nice person. And well, I'll tell you a little story. We were both really poor at the time. I was unemployed, she was unemployed. And we went into HMV. And if you remember HMV at the time, and her favorite film was, it still is actually, Coming to America. And it was in a bargain basement bin, and it cost £2. I had £1, she had £1, and we brought it, and we were meant to share it, but I haven't seen it since. So there you go. She's got my Coming to America. Well, half of it anyway. So there you go. But yeah, I'm really.
It was her birthday a couple of days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was.
I just want to clarify, because someone is after writing in R.I.P. Sophia Miles. It's not Sophia Miles that has passed away.
No, it's her father.
It's her dad that's passed away. My dad, which is a real shame, really. Anyway, moving on, I guess.
Let's see. Yeah, we got one more here that we've got to catch up with. So from Birdie Eve for 10 British pounds. Good evening, guys. Even Gary, who is stalking all the streams I like. It's Nerdrotic. You do show up everywhere, but that's awesome. We all love Gary.
Stream whore. That's what I've been told.
Do you know what, right? If I ever make a season 2 of Rebecca Gold, I'm going to have the T-shirt in the background with those glasses.
Yeah,
we
have to have that. We have to have that Easter egg. But the second part of this trial is
with the brands on the, I'll play our master. Remember, I told you.
He's always going, I want to play the master.
I do. Let me go on, because I want to be the one that gets rid of the Jodie Whittaker.
I don't have the master's not in this one, so what can I say?
Just look at do a Christian or shoehorn the bleeding scene in, will you?
Well, it's the second part of his of Birdie's super chat is Paul McGann is my favorite Big Finish doctor. What other stories or doctors would you recommend from Big Finish? Paul McGann is genius. That's why we would love to get a mini series.
Yeah.
Tom Baker.
I'm not a fan of Colin Baker, but these Big Finish audios, the ones I have listened to, are actually pretty impressive. So I would recommend Colin Baker, actually.
They're all good. Even the David Tennant, which is the only New Who doctor that does them, his audios bring it captures perfectly what that era was like down to the music. In terms of a good starting point, there's so many, but I would say Spare Parts is probably their best. Bring tissues with that one. That is largely considered to be one of the best Doctor Who stories ever written. So if you want a good start, Spare Parts is an absolute masterpiece.
I must say that the only thing I don't like about the audio stuff is that they actually speak like they're doing a radio play. And I always find that really odd when they do something. It just grates with me sometimes.
My only minor criticism with Big Finish. I the first Paul McGann one I listened to was Dark Eyes. That was a few years back.
Yeah,
I love that one. It's overproduced. But that's the BBC does that. They have this old Spider-Man. Have you guys ever listened to the Spider-Man? Brian May does the music for it. It is the most overproduced thing I've ever heard. I love it, but it's like there's
so much fun.
There's no pausing between sentences or anything. I am a huge fan of the BBC Lord of the Rings audio play with
the one from the 70s, the original one with Michael Hordern and people like that.
No, the one from the 80s, 1981. That's it's got Ian Holm. Ian Holm is in it as Frodo. That one is unbelievably good. I mean, they have distance and depth in the sound. If you're an audiophile, oh my God, it's the best.
Yeah. It's completely unabridged as well, isn't it, Gary? It's all everything Tom Bombadil, everything's in there.
No Tom Bombadil. It's abridged. They have they cut out the Barrow Whites and Tom Bombadil, and a lot of the fighting they have to cut down because you're listening to it. I would say Fellowship is the best out of the three. And it's a 13. You can get it on eBay. There's 13 CDs, and they did they updated it when the movies came out, so they did a little intro. They were kind of remastered, and they're really good, really good.
When I was a kid, it was on the radio all the time, and I remember my older brother, my stepbrother, listening to it constantly. It used to be on a Sunday tea times around 6 o'clock. So I remember it being on, but I've never actually gone back to it in the 35 years since. But I know when it seemed to go on forever, but then again, I was about 10, so 12 weeks probably would seem like forever.
Yeah. As I said, the only problem I've got with it is that they sound like they're doing a radio play. That's the only problem. But apart from that, they're really enjoyable. I love it.
Okay, so if we're going to Big Finish recommendations and you want a good jumping on point, I got to recommend the War Doctor series. Yeah. It's like you get an entire era. You get all of John Hurt as a War Doctor. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really good. Another one, the Russell D. Davies wrote a new adventure called Damaged Goods. And they did an adaptation of that with Sylvester McCoy's Doctor. Also, it's a real proto Doctor Who from Russell T Davies. So you get that real feeling of you see the origins of where his whole era came from. And another one which I really liked is the comic book adaptations with Tom Baker.
Yeah. So and if you want something out there, the Holy Terror, the Doctor's companion is a penguin.
Oh yeah, the one with Frobisher in it. Yeah.
Has anybody read the comic Star Trek meets Doctor Who?
Oh,
got it. Yeah.
It's so badly written.
It's badly written.
I like the idea. They have one issue. They had the Kirk and Spock and McCoy from the 60s meet the 1970s Cybermen. That was interesting.
Right.
The writing in it is just, oh my God. Firstly, they have no idea how to do dialogue. You had the characters had to duck down so there's enough room to get the speech balloons in. The voices never sounded right. Yeah, the plot they had plot threads that they just forgot about. I have no idea, and it took two of them to write it. Was it Tipton? I think was it, but it took two of them. I have no idea.
It was Scott Tipton and J.K. Woodward did the art, didn't
he? How this person gets employed as a professional writer was beyond me. It was shockingly bad.
Yeah, well,
people loved it in my shop.
Did they?
Okay,
loved it. Bought the crap out of it.
Not so queer as folk.
Yeah, that's a TV show in England. You know that, don't you?
Oh yeah. Well, guys,
English expression.
So I think both streams together, we roughly actually a little over the 3 hour mark. So I don't want to keep everybody too much longer. But who would like to say anything that you'd like to bring up? Therapy, RIP Doctor Who, happy things, sad things.
Happy things is that Moffat is on our side.
That is a happy thing.
Hashtag we love Moffat.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll do now is we'll give everybody a chance to plug their various channels and endeavors. So we'll just go around in a circle. So, Rebecca, Ian, what do you have coming? I hear there might be maybe a film or a project.
But my channel's Rebecca Gold, only 5 episodes. It's not much of a chore to watch. Watch it if you can. That's all I can say. And I'm going to try to make this Doctor Who fan film. First step is to make the trailer. That'll be all on me. I won't ask anybody for a penny for that. I'll make that off my own back. And then you can decide whether you want to invest in the next phase. But the thing is, though, the only thing that's stopping me from doing it is this virus bear bug thing. Yeah. So I'm hoping that finishes soon so I can start on it as soon as possible. That's me.
Awesome. Rabbi.
I have videos. I'm gonna have a solid 2 videos coming out every day. If you like hearing a rabbi screaming into his webcam in his basement, then come to my channel. Please subscribe. And if you like audio, I put a different Doctor Who audio venture in all the video notes of the videos I put out. They're by Audio Visuals, who was a fan group from the mid '80s. Stars Nick Briggs as a Doctor, and they ended up being Big Finish when they grew up. So you can always download those, and I give stuff away each week on my channel. We're supposed to do a Breaking Bad stream at some point. We've got to get together and work that out.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that actually. was that on your stream or was that Noel's stream that we were talking? Noel. Yeah, that was Noel's.
Yeah.
So at some point we'll do it because what I'm giving away this week is Breaking Bad, the second season. And I'm sorry I haven't mailed out everybody's stuff who's won in the last month and a half, which I feel really bad about. But it's all sitting packaged up right next to my desk for me to go out as soon as I can fight off, the radiation rats and the post-apocalyptic wasteland outside my front door.
Awesome.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, yes.
Rabbi. Yeah. What's that on your wall? Is that the Star Trek thing?
Which one? Oh, is it over? What is it? Over? I got to put my.
Oh God! I just noticed.
I just noticed it. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's a real one. It was put up by Think Geek a number of years ago, and if you walk by it, you set it to go. Shh, shh, and you press the button, and it goes. And you can pull to engineering. There's it. Woo! It's a lot of
That is awesome. I need that.
So do I.
Yeah, I don't think I'm making it. I have to have that.
Awesome. I need that too.
Yeah,
or Captain Safe.
Who's next?
Captain Safe Space and Snowflake. What's going on with you this week, my Snowflake friend?
Well, I'll have loads. You know me. We'll have a few more. I really don't know, to be honest with you. Right now, I'm just going to go on and see what happens. I mean, most of the conversation does still revolve around Doctor Who, so we'll continue that. But if anything else pops up, obviously we'll be doing that. So I've set. Can I plug my second channel?
No.
I'm going to do it anyway. Why did I even ask? Anyway, there's a second channel. It's called The Irish Geek. I do gaming streams on it, and I'm going to put this bad boy Titanic thing together on it as well. And I have a dinosaur to put together as well. Just something different, random.
Wait, did you say you're going to build the Titanic?
Yes, yeah.
I need in on that. Okay, that'll be fun.
There you go. So I bought this.
There it is.
Oh God.
What? That must be really small. What scale is that?
I haven't a clue. Hold on.
Like 1,000.
It's still going to be hard to do. Do you know what I mean? It's not like just like Lego, you know?
Lego's hard for me to do.
Jesus.
That is cool.
I have to paint it and all I do. I have to hand paint it. You get the paints and all with it. I have to put this whole thing together. Like from it has the engine pieces and all. I have to put that all together. Like the funnels have to be put together.
Have little people with it, and they have like one bag for survivors, another bag for victims.
This one here, look. Then I got this one as well. This is an interactive dinosaur. So when I set it up, then I download this app, and then it tells us stuff about the dinosaurs.
Gary.
I think we lost Gary.
But
So I guess this means that.
Rabbi's amazing.
Oh, he's got his
Basically, I'll be just covering what everybody else is covering, basically, because whatever, it's mostly Doctor
He's
Who.
back. He's back.
There he is. There's Gary there now. And
Hello, Gary.
Hello.
we'll have plenty to talk about anyway. There's still Doctor Who to talk about because they're being ridiculous. I'm still getting people, I don't know about you, Gary, but I'm still getting people, sending me messages about how heartbroken they are and, distraught. And you're getting all these nice, wonderful Doctor Who related stories as well. So I'm getting a lot of that. So I'm throwing them up as well. And I'll probably have a video tonight as well with all those Moffat tweets. I'm going to stick them up on a video for everybody to see, let them make up their own mind.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's what I have going.
Awesome. Dan, so what's going on with the Spacebook podcast?
Well, what's going on? Oh, what's going on with Dan and the Spacebook? Yeah, I've still got my YouTube channel. Dan Hadley's YouTube channel is called The Spacebook, just like my Facebook group's called The Spacebook. And that's where we put all our Doctor Who videos at the moment. Now, I've been talking about other content for a good 2 or 3 months. So everybody who's asked me about it, be patient. There is something else coming other than Doctor Who talk. Should be this week. So keep watching that channel, subscribe and hit the bell and do all that business by all means. Other than that, you can catch me on Facebook where I'm moderating the Facebook group. But yeah, the big thing is the Type 40 podcast. I put out episodes of that pretty much every week. Now we've got the Series 12 reviews out of the way. We can stop talking about all that horrible stuff. Start talking about good Doctor Who, proper Doctor Who on TV and books, audio, comic strips, everything. Or just the fandom, the bits of it that are nice. With myself, the Rabbi's been on, Starry-Eyed Girls on most of the time.
I need to get on.
Various other people, I'm already talking to the Mega Geek there, and I'm going to drag them. Oh, no, Noel's been on. I'm going to drag the rest of you.
Okay,
Gary.
I have to make an appearance at some point.
This is it. It's a positive podcast in general, but the big thing about it generally is, and I say this with a straight face, and I'm sure the people who've heard it will agree, that we are the free speech Doctor Who podcast out there. So everybody's opinions are 100% genuine. There's no party line ever. So come and find that. I have popped a link in the chat. I'm sure somebody else would as well. But there's nearly 50 episodes. We're recording a new one tomorrow. Look out for that Type 40 and the Type over 40 videos on the Spacebook YouTube channel. Thank you for having me, Bolstrek, and thank you, the rest of you, for your company, gentlemen. It's been brilliant. Cheers. And thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you for turning up to listen and watch us.
Well, thank you, Dan, and my good friend Gary. So, what is going on in Nerderotic land?
I'm not very busy. I'm just kind of like lounging around, jumping on live streams when I want to.
Walking the dog.
Yeah, walking the dog, making videos. I've got the What Culture retort video on the way. I have another retort video to Marvel. I've got a little love letter for them. I'm covering Westworld, still covering Star Trek Picard, and I'll be doing probably daily live streams next week. So, I'm going to start reviewing Doctor Who episodes on Nerderotic Live, little 15-minute things, starting with Spearhead from space. We're going in order from there. And it'll be recorded on my Patreon and then put up on Nerderotic Live. And I'm also reviewing A Song of Ice and Fire chapters. So not so busy.
Awesome. Well, I will to lighten things up. You can expect Woke Batman to make a return. I'm probably doing that tomorrow. So we're going to be back with Diversity Hire number 5, Bad Acting Alice, Daddy, and Dear Sophie. So our soap opera is going to continue. And that's about it. I've got I'm temporarily back to sort of full-time YouTube for a few weeks. So I've actually, if you count this as a video, this is 3 days in a row I've had something up on YouTube, and that hasn't happened in like a year. So I would like to thank everybody who came today. So Rebecca Gold, Rabbi, Spacebook, Dan, Nerderotic, Gary, and Captain Safe Space and Snowflake. Thank you all for coming. Anybody have any last words before we head off to the
Yes,
great,
yes. Muffet, it's on the outside.
Muffet.
And a serious note, just everybody out there, stay safe.
Yep.
Exactly.
We are facing an unprecedented event right now, but all I'll just say is just listen to the medical experts, and for all you knobheads out there, I just have to say to stop panic buying, because what you're doing then is you're not leaving food out there for the other people. There is other people out there, so don't be so selfish.
Yep.
And check out on your elderly neighbors as well if you can. If they need anything from the shops or anything like that, if you can. I know some countries will be completely locked down and the army will probably take over, but just make sure you keep your loved ones tight. This is unprecedented, and let's hope we get out the other side and we can all then move on from that, and let's see what happens.
Yep.
I'm sorry I'm ranting.
Oh no, that's no, everybody, and it might be boring, self-isolation or self-quarantine, but honestly it's much better than the alternative.
That's right.
Exactly.
And it's summer will be here. Hopefully this will be curbed by then, but in the meantime there's lots to keep yourself busy. I don't know if you're into puzzles, read books. Everybody on YouTube is pretty much in full production right now because we don't have anything else to do. So watch YouTube, watch Netflix, Prime. If you got DVDs and Blu-rays, it's not worth the risk. And to those kids that are on the beach, get the hell off the beach.
Yeah,
Exactly.
seriously.
Exactly.
So that's it for today, but you'll be hearing a lot from, pretty much all of us over the next little while because, like I said, we don't have much else to do. So that's it. So as always, everyone, thank you for watching.
Ta-da.
And have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.